Sometimes I hunt for the storm just to weather it. Prefer them deadly than challenge accepted. And don't get too friendly, my motives are treacherous. There's a thin line between pain and what pleasure is. And on that thin line is me leaving them breathless. Make them aware it's their moment of reckoning. Used to be less of a wreck, now I'm reckless. I'm the best and I still get the best of them. Hold up. Always been the one that got them heroin. Still get a little bloodlust every now and then. Beckoning, follow him, or fall to him like they all doing. I follow my own guidance. I follow my own guidance. Still woke up and chose violence. When I talk, they all silent.
NASEF's vision is to give all students an opportunity to learn about career pathways that they can have in esports. For some, it's being an elite gamer, playing games like MLBB. For others, it's casters, it's streamers, shoutcasters, all these different career opportunities. And so that's what NASEF is doing, is providing career pathways and opportunities for all these students.
You know, we don't in the United States, in North America, play mobile games. And it really is, as we traveled around the world, that's what everyone plays. So if we're gonna compete and we're gonna give kids the same opportunities everywhere else in the world, they're gonna learn how to do it. And there's nothing like MLBB, it is the best in the world.
I'm feeling a little bit dangerous, and they looking a little bit anxious. If I'm laughing while I'm swelling in my fingers, it's only a warning that you can't just walk up to me, talking to me. Ain't no telling my reaction, I could black out. This is such an experience, and it's always one I wanna max out.
Defy the odds, and they're well on their way of doing it down the mid. The Nubia flicker, Yato makes the play. They're gonna try to close it in. Shark wants to return though. Joy Bosch, immortality pops. They don't have the minion just yet. They got two. ISO gonna lock in. Can he do it? 50%, 30. No, wait, two more hits. Just finish it. ISO can't quite do it.
I'm ready for anything, everything, everything. I swear I'm ready for anything. Bring it on, it's not enough. Baby, I'm ready for everything, everything, everything. Tell them I'm ready for anything.
For 6 years, Southeast Asia have been the conquerors of the Land of Dawn. But now, new competitors have arisen, hungry to vanquish C's dominance. 12 teams will come to battle. Only one can be champion. In this MSC, the 12 qualified teams compete in 2 stages. First, the group stage, and then the knockout stage. The group stage starts with a draw. The champions of MPL Indonesia, MPL Philippines, MPL Malaysia, and MSC 2023 Myanmar qualifier are placed in Pool 1. All other competing teams are placed in Pool 2. Pool 1 teams will be distributed across 4 groups: A, B, C, and D. The other 8 teams will be drawn randomly into the other groups. Teams from MPL Indonesia and MPL Philippines will not be drawn into the same group, making sure things stay challenging. Each team will fight each other once, with the winner of each match decided in a best of 3. Only the top 2 teams of each group will advance to the knockout stages. As for the knockout stage format, it will be a single elimination bracket, with each team fighting in a best of 5 series. Teams from the same group won't be drawn into the same knockout matchup. There is no second chance. Losing teams are eliminated from the tournament until it comes to the semi-finals, where losing teams fight for a chance at 3rd place. But after the semi-finals, we come to the grand final in a best of 7 matchup. The knockout stages will take place over 4 days, from June 15th to 18th. No matter which side you stand for, let your voices roar and carry your team as they fight for honor, glory, and victory. Witness history in the making as we see the world this MSC in Cambodia.
Never look back if you have nothing to regret. Loneliness never bothers me. Never look back if you have nothing to regret. Let my will bend the earth! Legendary! Let my will bend the earth! Double kill!
Hey guys, what's up? So today, we are featuring Novaria, the Star Rebel. Novaria is the daughter of an astral artificer from the celestial haven of Stargate Valley. She possesses a solitary nature, formidable strength, and a pure heart that radiates compassion. However, the same stars that are the source of her power are also responsible for the calamities that have befallen her family and stripped away her freedom. Shackled by astral rings, Novaria broke free using the power that she desperately hid in her early years. Her new goal is to complete the Star Atlas and with it, unlock the secrets of the stars. Hero skills. Novaria is an artillery mage with burst potential and support capabilities. First skill, Astral Meteor. Novaria uses her first skill to continuously deal magic damage and gradually slow down the enemies in a designated area. Second skill,
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Mobile Legends Scrim Academy Cyberpunk Semifinals Day 1, as you are seeing 8 teams now down to 4 competing for a spot in the Grand Finals. It has to be moved over to our amazing schedule. That's right, looking at this insane bracket, 32 teams fighting it out, everybody trying to claim a spot in the semifinals, and now we officially have our top 4 teams: Bloodhounds, Endables, Ignis Esports, and Team Ace. Today, we'll be seeing Bloodhounds going up against Endables. What's going on, North America? My name is Steph Weezy, and welcome to the Cyberpunk Tournament for the Mobile Legends Scrim Academy, as we officially opened our doors for Season 3. We're started off with a banger. We partnered up with Raz and also Outplay to give teams the chance to compete, 32 teams to be an exact number, for a diamond prize of $100,000 provided by Moonton, and also 1,000 cash US dollars. So it's definitely an insane time for North America. This is the biggest prize pool we have ever had. And honestly, this is the biggest tournament we've ever facilitated to be able to let 32 teams run through it. But like we said, today is the semifinals, part 1. Today we're going to be seeing Bloodhounds going up against Endables in a best of 5. And we have 2 amazing casters ready to paint that perfect picture. Let's go ahead and swing on over there. Here we go. We got Deku, Scarejet in the building. Scarejet disappeared on us for a second. There he goes.
There he goes.
How you guys doing?
What's going on? Feeling good, man. I mean, like you said, semifinals is here. We got Bloodhounds taking on Endables. It's going to be an exciting match here. And actually, we're going to actually get to see Endables play because they've been on a bit of a DQ meta towards their way to semifinals. But that's a lot on the table there to talk about. But before we get there, Scarejet, how you doing, man?
Absolutely amazing, and again it's going to be a banger of a semi-finals because I was honestly thinking that it might be a best of 3, but again we are looking at a best of 5, so it's even better because you get to see a lot more strategies on board, and you cannot just think of it as a normal best of 3 because now your opponent would have 2 chances if in case they might not be able to make in that one of the game. So it's going to be amazing, and I really want to see what kind of meta these teams are packing up for this best of 5.
And the best of 5 is definitely going to be insane. And fellas, let's go ahead and swing on over to our predictions.
Ooh. Oh, wow. So we actually have a lot of votes going to the favor of Bloodhounds here on the board. 3-2 in their favor right now.
But I'm loving the fact that how your prediction is a 3-2-0.
Hey,
almost
wait a second, Scarejet. I think we had some errors. Okay, I definitely put in a 3-2. That is not accurate. I did not put a sweep. I would actually hate to see a sweep, but it's funny. It's a good meme, but I really can't wait to get in the matches and see how these kind of unfold and see who ends up being right.
Absolutely.
Here we are over on the draft again. Scarejet wanted to disappear on me again. You can't escape me that fast, man. You can't leave me on our first cast. But opening up strong already from Endables. They're making a target ban here. I'm not sure if you've got to take note of Bloodhound's jungler, Easy Peasy. Big user, big fan of the X-Borg jungle. I think he's actually used it probably 2 of the 3 times we've seen it picked up. So right away, target bans from Endables.
Absolutely, and it's a pretty good ban to be honest, right? Because if you think of it, tank jungles can be countered by the Xbox jungle. You deal 2 direct true damage to them, so just banning him away also gives you a lot of leeway to actually pick something in that department. Fredrin tanks a lot. There's also a tank bane that we've been seeing, Akai, so there are a lot of tank heroes on the pool as of now. So Lancelot has been banned out by the Bloodhounds. They're not gonna let it go through. Now I'm expecting them to take away some kind of mage probably.
Oh, well, there's a mage ban right there. It didn't come from VH, but it did come from Endables. They're going to take out the Faramis. So already trying to take away some utility here, right? A high priority mage here. It's nice to take off the board. I would imagine, though, Bloodhounds is going to be forced to take off potentially, something like the Navaria from the red side, especially since Endables gets the first pick, unless maybe they have an answer to it. But so far in the Mlsa Cyberpunk Tournament, Navaria has been causing havoc for teams every time it's been let through. I believe it has resulted in a loss. I think only one team has beat it, and I'm struggling to think of who it was that was able to overcome it. But so far, I've only seen one time Navaria has lost in this tournament.
Yeah, I believe that was when we were actually looking for our top 8, and in the first day when I came here to cast, those are the first 2 games probably when the Novaria actually lost. But then again, she picked up the pace in the last few games. The team who picked the Novaria were able to come out on top. And there's another hero that has been causing havoc in the entire quarterfinals, and that was Leslie.
That's right. Leslie has been a bit of an issue. She's been rising up recently in the pick. So I've actually been seeing that pick rise up in other regions. I've been casting a lot of other events, and Leslie has been one of those, like, I want to say tier 2 like premier pick that's not exactly at the top yet, but you can see the usage rate has been climbing up a little bit. Speaking of usage rates that have been climbing up, Glue still at kind of at that top. He's going to get banned out by Endables, so whatever they're prioritizing, they don't want to deal with that swing back from the side of VH picking up that Glue. I think it's a good option. But again, 1 ban left. Joy, Arlot, Navaria all on the table right now. What are you kind of feeling might happen?
At this point, just ban away the Leslie. Keep everything on the table. True that. So, just let your opponent pick 1 and pick 2 of them, because you're gonna be on the red side. You will have 2 of those picks. So, be whatever the case, your opponent will only be able to take 1 of them away. So, you have a lot on the table. But they're gonna take away the Novaria because you can take Joy to counter the Arlot or vice versa. Plus, everything else is more or less like almost on equal terms. But again, we're gonna see the Fredrin being picked up right away from the Endables. So, opening the draft pretty solid, but leaving away almost everything open, it might give them a chance to Bloodhounds to actually counter that. But alright, we're gonna see the Valentina though, not the Fredrin.
Honestly, interesting. I thought Fred would have been a nice pick, especially since Glue has been taken off the board. Eve had been banned out. Two of the picks that are kind of really strong to go up against the Fred, give him a hard time in the jungle. But they go for the Valentina. I guess it's not bad, right? It's a safe mid lane pick. It's a good deterrent. But they banned out Paramus and Eve, so they've already got rid of a lot of utility, which is already forcing Bloodhounds to adjust a little bit. So I'd imagine they pick something Valentina won't be able to profit off of, but so far at least they'll be able to neutralize that position for a matchup.
I believe Lilia would be a pretty good pick in this situation because you will have the ability to maneuver, plus you'll have a lot of early game presence and damage, and you'll have the priority in the mid lane. So you can rotate on towards those sides and help them get the upper hand in those lanes. But we're going to see Alert as well as Bane being locked in. So pretty solid picks coming in from Bloodhound, just strengthening their EXP as well as their jungle. And this Bane can be anything, right? It can be a damage Bane or it can also be a tanky Bane.
That's right, and I love that they comboed this Endo with the Bane and Arlot. I've actually seen this combination break out overseas. Normally, if the draft was ideal and able to carry on the way it would go, you would see that Eve come down for the side of BH. But Minotaur is also something that goes very well. But the Bane and Arlot work so well just because of with the deadly catch in those fights, it offers in a little more of that passive proc for Arlot to use, his demonic eye. So I like that they set this up. And Endables is going to have a bit of a challenge to go ahead and minimize the damage from that combination.
I don't know what hero is better to counter that entire CC. That's going to be the Lapu Lapu when he'll be using the Bravest Fighter. So that is a pretty solid pick in that EXP lane. Though I was honestly expecting a Joy to be coming out. But again, Lapu Lapu does the job, can clear the lane. But I think so Arlet would be the one who would be having that priority whenever it would come to rotation. So I really feel like that Bloodhounds at this point, yes, it's just as you mentioned, they want the CC, and now they have the suppression as well. So Kaze is still on the board, so and they've taken it away the moment I said that. Kazaskers.
That's right. So, I mean, now at least as far as pickoff matchup, I think it really goes in the favor of Bloodhounds just because they get the suppression and they banned out the only other option in the game. So now you force Endables. They can still go for pickoff in that position 5, but it won't be as strong as having that suppression from Franco. Might put them into more of a team fight thing, but BH loves this, right? They love taking these pickoff compositions. Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if we end up seeing something like Kadita in the second half of this draft. They're a big... Oh, actually got banned out. So that's a great ban from Endables. Like I said, BH very in tune with that pick, so I think that's a great target there from Endables, man.
Endables reading the draft and reading what VH actually wants to do, so banning away that option in that mage pool. Plus they've already picked one for themselves, so it's a very comfortable situation for them. And it's just as you mentioned that in terms of that pick off, there's I believe just one more hero that comes into my mind, and that's going to be Chow, that you can put in the roam position, who can give you some amazing setups using the flicker way of the dragon, and it is a pick off composition. So Kufra is going to be taken away from BH now, so that really leaves room for only a few of those rumors to actually fill. But you mentioned about Minotaur in the beginning, and we still have it open, so Endables can actually go for it. And yes, the Arlot would not be able to benefit of that, but again, you have an entire team of Valentina, Lapu Lapu, Fredrin to actually utilize that knockup phase that comes in after the third Minoan Fury.
That's right. And right now, what I'm looking at here from Scared, I was going to say Scared yet, but from the Endables here, something they could also do, I'm not sure how comfortable they are with it, is they could lock in something like a Diggy, right? And put something in their back line that plays a little more safe, something like a Brody perhaps, especially into this carry matchup. It wouldn't be the worst idea. It's seen it from teams like Bryn. It's kind of like the triangle offense. If you will, you can set that up. It'll definitely help out Fredrin there. Look, there's a Brody being hovered. They could lock it in, but I'll see what they'll do for that position 5. I really think the Diggy would benefit their draft, especially up against Arlot, just because you negate a lot of his engage. And you actually, fun fact, stop carry's passive during the time journey. The auto attacks will proceed, but the actual true damage from the passive itself gets negated during that. So it's a really good idea, but I'm not sure if they're aware of that.
Every day you learn new things whenever you come into this game, and this is one of the reasons why I wanted to catch with you, because I knew that there would be something I would learn, and this is one of those moments. But again, Yes, Diggy would have been an amazing pick in this case. You would have negated a lot of utility from BH, but maybe they really want to go in for some pick of composition themselves, some rumor that can actually set things up and set things in motion for them. So they're locking in the Grok as of now. Now, it's not a bad pick, it's a pretty solid one indeed. You would be able to face check those bushes, and you would also be able to surprise your opponents by those flicker wild charge combinations, but it is a little difficult to pull off, so Endables would have to do an amazing job at that. But you also have the Valentina, so you can literally steal away the suppression from the Franco and use it on Arlet himself when you would be jumping in your backlines.
That's right. Ooh, spicy pick here from BH, locking in the Valier. I believe that's the first Valier sighting that we've seen. This is the first pick coming out from BH, so very interesting for the pocket pick. I'm kind of a fan of it. I like it, especially into the Fredrin, and you still avoid offering up something to Valentina here. It still helps your composition a bit, and it has the Purify, right, with the ultimate. So even if you get caught up by a wall charge, an energy eruption, a Terrify at bare minimum, you have a bit of a disengage tool there at your utility.
Yes, and it seems that BH actually want to entirely with those disengages, right? Because they've got the Bane, they also have the Valier now, so they would really want Endables to try and go in for those engages while they are only answering them back, and their answer back is extremely solid in this case. I really feel that it might be possible for Endables to might have some upper hand, but that too when they would be turning in that mid game, and Gina Salty would be extremely powerful. But we're gonna have to wait for that to see how that's gonna happen, as we're gonna jump in the first semi-finals. Endables up against Bloodhounds, game 1.
And for once, finally, like I said before, we'll get to see Endables in what seems to be forever, as I believe their last 2 matchups have been DQs, man. So it's been a while since we got to see this composition in full play. But speaking of compositions, I definitely got to get your read on this. We talked about a lot of the picks at draft, a lot of the interactions. We had things we oohed at, we had things we awed at. But ultimately, who are you in favor of here, Scared Jet?
Looking just at the draft, I really feel like it would be a little more easy for Bloodhounds to execute their own draft. So I think so they should be able to do fine as long as Sleeps is, being proactive in the game and is not letting Brody free farm. So as long as Gina does not snowball, Bloodhounds should be the one who should have the upper hand when we'll be transitioning in towards that mid to late game.
Yeah, that's a lot easier said than done when you're facing Gina in the gold lane. He is a premier gold laner, in my opinion. Honestly, the only thing that holds him back is him not being able to travel for some of these qualifiers for those world events. But here in the Mlsa, he gets to play without any of that in the back of his mind. So it's going to be hard for Sleeps to match up. But we've seen Sleeps perform for Bloodhounds. He's actually came into himself last time during the Valentine's tournament in the same roster with Sleeps as the gold laner. He had moments where it seemed he was kind of a weak point for BH. But since they've joined the Cyberpunk, Sleeps has kind of transformed himself, I would say. But speaking of transform, down to the bot side, things are changing quickly. Templess able to disengage, forces out the Brave Fighter. It's not going to connect, and now they're going to miss that up with this turtle that spawned in. But the fight, actually they're not stopping. Templess, final slash, he doesn't want to stop here. Both XP laners going at it, but now the turtle's up for contest. Deadly Catch is forced out early. They're going to miss that. First blood falls into the hands of Kid 1, aka Nicolette. This should be an easy pickup for Endables. They take the 1-0 trade, and they find the turtle. Scared Jet, a good start for them.
The dream opening that they needed, and again it all began when Gustavo and Templess went against each other in that bottom side. Though we had no casualties, but I would say that Gustavo was the one who somehow actually won out in that fight, because you forced Templess to somehow just use everything to only clear that way, so he was not able to join the fight in perfect time. So even though Gustavo himself was not able to join it, but denying your opponent that early game that they want to in that EXP lane, that is something that was a big win for them. And again, they were just caught in that chain CC, and they were able to pick everyone. Also Tokuski falling in that fight, that was the best win that they would have had.
And right now, down in that bot side matchup, they're showing how strong this Lapu is up against the Arla. I know you were talking about hoping to see the Joy, but I feel like Endables might have made the right call right now, taking something that they're very comfortable in that matchup so far. Meanwhile, Gina, first item, Hunter Strike for him. Did not go for the usual Blade of Despair first item. What are your thoughts on that?
Honestly, I was expecting to see maybe a Blade of Ecstasies as well, because you get a ton of burst damage, but even Hunter Strike would work. It's gonna give you the penetration, you would also get the movement speed, you will have that early damage. Emily almost getting that hook.
Ooh, speaking of damage, Wild Charge underneath the tower, they find the stun on Sleeps, don't find the kill, but force the flicker, but a good bloody hunt to stop more of the engage. Emily's in a bit of trouble. Torn apart memory goes out, but they're still living in the moment. No one falls. 3v3, not going to have any members taking a loss here. Down the bot side, a bit of action that we've seen so far. Brave Fighter stance was called out, but it doesn't look like either one's going to get chunked extremely low. So a lot of action right now, Scary Jet, but ultimately no one falls across the board. Just a couple heat checks.
That is true. I really love the way that both of these teams are playing. So they are poking each other out, but they're also making sure that they're not the ones to fall. Not many mistakes you can make when the stakes are so very high, and we might see the engage near the turtle Deku.
We are, but it looks like Endables should pick this up again. Not in good position for Bloodhounds to be able to contest, and this is something that makes it hard. But speaking of hard, in between a rock and a hard place, a nice wild charge is going to come out. Emily trying to stop them, but Kid will pick up the kill. He's left all alone in this cold world, and look at that, Gina picking up that gold plating. You were talking about this. They need to try to stop him from snowballing, but so far to no avail.
Absolutely, and Sleeps again using the ultimate to try and force them backwards. Already using, for now using, Bane seems to be in trouble.
He is in trouble in the jungle. It's a rumble, and Praiser Wrath comes down, drops him extremely low, but they can't finalize and piece up the kill. But again, pressure onto the side of Bloodhounds. And that tower is going to fall the top side. Gina salty looking kind of sweet, flickers in, looking for the kill, torn apart memory. He's going to put Sleeps down for the count. Welcome to Slumber Town. Endables 3-0 with a 3K gold lead.
And this is the time when Gina can shine the most. It's the mid game, also running with a killing spree, going solid 1-0-1, has got the damage, and now they should transition it towards the bottom as we are talking about bottom lane.
They tried to force some action there, but Templest not in range to follow up. I think a bit of miscommunication there. It could have been a nice kill, but knowing that they have the HP advantage, going to look to cut the wave. Finds, using the final slash, but Brave Fighter slants the Raging Slash, comes out. Tarzan, the man swinging through the jungle now, has came to assist. A bit of a 2v2, make that a 1v1. His members are starting to walk away. Back underneath the towers, Templest, he's looking to escape. He doesn't want to play much longer anymore. But Tarzan doesn't want to let him go. He's going to keep chasing. Going to use the taunt. Here comes the Brave Fighter stance once again. Looking for the 2v1. Wombo combo, 1-2 connection. Gustavo is going to take him down. It's going to be an XP laner missing. And again, Turtle appearing shortly. This is a disadvantage for BH.
Imagine that you're doing this to an EXP laner, what you can do to a marksman or a mage if they're actually caught in the range of that taunt. You will just get obliterated within seconds. I mean, I could feel the frustration of Templest in that moment. It's like, let me go, leave me alone. I need to go back to my tower. And Tarzan was like, nope, you're not going anywhere. You will go directly back to the base. Start in the respawn timer, but we're gonna see the engage.
And the wild charge and the CC following up from Tarzan, man, it's so hard to deal with it. I feel like it's extremely repetitive how much they CC, but hang on top side, Gustavo got in a bit of a pickle there. He's going to be able to put the lid onto that salty situation, finds his way back to the mid tower, but Endables has overall just been so oppressive to BH. I mean, look at them right now. The way they've been securing these towers, the final slash was coming out from Temp is not going to be able to do too much. Gina will find his second tower in the game for Endables, and this is the problem with Brody. So strong, able to pick up, and meanwhile, he found the kill on Boca Roscoe. Emily, though, looking to trade him out with the Iron Hook Bloody Hunt combination. Fight's not over, though. Barrier wall goes down. Good wild charge for the disengage. Will they be able to escape? Emily's not looking to give up. Has the Iron Hook. Pops the conceal, but is it enough? No, it's not. Peekaboo, I see you. Deadly catch comes out, and it catches something deadly indeed. Sleeps joining in. 4 members down to the bot side. All there is Nicolette, but they don't have the minion wave. They're going to back away. They've had a little bit of fun, but they can't overstay their welcome.
Very disciplined play from Bloodhounds. I know that you are always tempted to take down that tower as soon as you see that your 4 members alive. There are a couple of people who have already fallen, but very good discipline. They knew that Tarzan would be around the corner, so they have to retreat. They do not have the tools to take that fight any longer, and they are also respecting the damage coming in from Kit. So I really love to see that. The towers have been traded, though yes, there is a lead in favor of Endables as of now. But again, we are gonna see Sleeps pop up on this carry. Already has the corrosion side, also the golden stuff. While looking at the items coming in from Gina, there we go. We've got the BOD and is also going in for probably the Malefic Roar now. So gonna get that penetration in. And it would be a little more difficult for Emily to actually tank that damage. We're seeing Emily with okay.
And there goes the force engage there that they're not able to disengage from. Gustavo will take down Tofiski. This is going to be a free Lord for Endables if they choose, but it looks like they want to try to shove in the mid lane first, put a bit of urgency there, and now they will rotate over to this Lord and go ahead and take it as Bloodhounds will look to respond. Emily's going to miss the hook, so they have nothing to follow up on. This is going to be another free objective for Endables in a game that seems everything's been given to them for free here, Scared.
Yes, and Tofu is being caught again and again. It's been basically the second time that Tofu has been caught during those neutral objective scenarios. So the team is not able to engage once he falls. So that was a good decision from Bloodhounds. They're going to lose some of the towers though. So Endables will be securing a few objectives. We're taking off objective.
They're looking to push down on the bot side again. Gina is going to lock into another tower. The strength of Brody, when you're able to win that lane to matchup, you're able to take down that first tower. He is so pivotal in taking down the rest of those outer turrets. You're able to rotate him around the map to be able to take them down. But the potential fight is brewing. A lot of members into this mid side. Bloodhounds in a bit of a situation. They want to hold that mid tower down, but they have a lore to respond to top side.
True, and the potential fight has been brewing for about 2 minutes now, but they've not yet gone at it. But finally, we're going to see Gustavo probably being taken down, already caught in the bloody hand, and he will be finished off side by side, while the entire team of Bloodhounds are just trying to defend the top side now.
And Endables was able to take down that tier 2, which is going to be okay for them, right? With that first Lord, you kind of want to knock out 2 of those tier 2 towers. They've already knocked out the tier 2 top, tier 2 bot, and now look at that good wall coming out there from Totenak here. They're able to pick up the tier 3. That's going to open up the map so much more, and with them already having an advantage, it's going to become that much more oppressive for Bloodhounds to deal with.
Yes, we can see the entire map being blue at this point. You do not have anywhere to go, so it's going to be pretty problematic for the side of Bloodhounds now to actually try and go in for those contests, because Emily, yes, Emily would have to open the map for their team, but you have a chain CC lined up in front of you. If there's any kind of death bush that has been set up, you will be picked off right away. And for now, talking about pick off, Tofu needs to play safe. You do not want to go in your blue buff bush. No matter what, you will be taken down in an instant. Emily now trying to do the job, missing the iron hook. It is not landing. Now, this is one of the major things about a Franco, that whenever you pick a Franco, you want your iron hooks to land. Yes, not every one of them, but at least a few of them. And for now, we're only seeing Emily connecting a couple of hooks in the entire match, so that is definitely not working out for them.
Definitely not working out. And something else I feel like we should point out maybe from BH composition. I know earlier when they locked in the ban at Arlott, I was talking about that Eve already being banned out and then also potential for Minnow. I feel like right now we've been seeing kind of the issue in Tofiski's KDA right now. That 1 and 2 is going to be picked off in a couple crucial moments. Kind of shows the glaring issue with it. Bane so susceptible to CC in these charge compositions that we're seeing, like the Grok, like the Lapu, and like the Fredrin. That Minnow with that Minoan Fury, that RWM to fall back on for good disengage, good spacing, allows Bane to play into these team fights that otherwise he shouldn't be in. But with the Franco and the Valier, 2 picks that aren't really good at either one of those methods for disengage or spacing out the fights, Tofu has just been completely kept out of the match here. And again, look at this, the setup for this Lord. They're trying to make some wraparound plays, but I just don't know if it's going to be enough for this 5v5.
It might actually be a Pincer coming in. Tarzan though using up the taunt already. Oh my goodness, that wild charge they could.
And that's going to be a great opening. Gina's going to find the kill on Templars, already have the number advantage. They don't want to stop there. They're going to keep looking for more. They do pull Tofu again. The issue with the composition is just not enough to work around for him in these pocket fights. Emily, though, looking to trade him back out. Lands the hook. Is this going to be a return for Bloodhounds? Will they choose to keep engaging? Again, they don't have Tofu, no retribution. They make the right call. They found a kill. That's enough for them. They're going to give up this Lord. Endables going to take it, as with everything else they've done so far in this match, and continue the lead. But hang on, someone might be caught out. Emily lines the iron hook. It feel like she heard you, as Boca Roscoe will pick up the kill there. That's going to be good for them, especially since Lord's already spawned in. Right now, Endables are making a lot of mistakes. Tarzan now is in trouble. Killing spree for the gold lane for Bloodhounds. This is not what you want. You cannot let them get online and find momentum. That Luminous Lord and top side's potentially going to go to waste now. They lost too many members for the side of Endables.
True, and I was not expecting Tarzan to actually go on to the aggressive, maybe messed up a dash or something, because you definitely do not want to be fighting a carry when a carry already has a corrosion size golden staff as well as the demon hunter's sword. You will be melted in an instant, and we did see the strength that Sleeves possess coming in this round and in that specific fight. So it's just as you mentioned, right? Tofu is not being able to play his own game just because of the fact that their composition does not allow them. But for now, it's gonna allow them to pick Grok off like paper.
That's right. They offered up another pick off, and you simply cannot do this. I'm not even sure how Endables is letting this happen. They have all the control over the map, right? All the pressure is coming from their side, yet still they're allowing Bloodhounds to play one side of the map and still find pickoffs without having much vision denial to work with. Bloodhounds gonna look to push in on this tier 3 tower. If they can find this, would be huge for them. But Brave Fighters and Torn Apart Murray's gonna help them clear out those minions. Not gonna be able to find the push. They're going to be forced back, but hang on. Endables might punish them for this. They're looking to start the fight, look to start the engage. Huge Appraiser's Wrath comes out, but without the follow-up, he's going to be caught out. Templess will take out Tarzan and TT, but no trash talk. Just a superior T from Bloodhounds right now.
That is correct, and again, they were able to pick one person off. They will be able to clear those waves, and now it's just as you mentioned, we are seeing the momentum being switched from Endables to the Bloodhounds. And this is the thing that I mentioned in the starting, that during the transition of that mid to late game, if Sleeps is able to pop off, as it should normally be able to, we will probably see the momentum switch, and that is exactly what's happening right now. And their position is much better, even though they okay, Templars for now probably baiting it out.
And they're playing this so well. Bloodhounds has some supreme positioning. Lands a hook. They're going to connect with the Bloody Hunter. They can burst them out. This could be huge for them. Sleeps takes the kill on Totenak. Great opening for them. They now have the number advantage 5v4. They can look to still keep up the pressure. Any fight that breaks out from now is in their favor. Actually, Gina making his way up the top side. If he reveals himself, that'll give them some information to know what they can do here in this scenario.
Yes, and Templars will go and clear it out while the entire team of Bloodhounds is working towards that bottom tier 1. They're all playing along and around Sleeps now. They know their win condition is Sleeps, and they're in a perfect position to take this Lord, or at least set up a death bush for probably Tarzan or maybe anyone else who would come in the bush. Oh my goodness.
And that's going to be the death wish for Tarzan. Sleeps is going to put the knockout powder on him. Finds a double kill on the kid. Sleeps is completely on right now for BH. He's looking to turn things around for him. Emily, though, in a bad position, used the Bloody Hunt as a last resort desperate action. But look at Templars from the backside. Could have used a huge final slash here. He's going to dash in. Not going to waste it just yet. Looking for the perfect opportunity. Meanwhile, Sleeps and company working on the Luminous Lord. It's going to be their first huge objective in this game. Tofu finally getting to put that retribution to use. BH trying to turn things around.
And that's the strength of a Franco, that even though you've got a Grok in your opponent, you know that Grok will immune almost every CC. But for now,
Boca Roscoe almost getting punished there, but here comes a deadly catch to turn the fight. That's some good re-engage. Huge final slash. That's the moment he was waiting on. They're not going to be able to find the kill just yet. He's going to be a little bit of a runaway bandit here, but the rest of the team, they're going to look to put focus on this Luminous Lord. Don't want us to go to waste. Charge passive in the top side should go ahead and take that tower down as they're looking to zone out. Deadly catch as well. Sleeps picked up the kill on Gustavo. They're going to be missing Lapu Lapu here. Gina Salty is a little low. He needs to be careful. Don't want to get engaged on here by the members of Bloodhounds. But Tarzan, again, he's been isolated. Look at the rest of Endables and the spacing here. He's going to be able to escape, but they need to be careful. They keep separating these team fights, and that's what Bloodhounds wants. They're giving them easy pickoffs here. They have completely opened back up the map, finding the tier 2. Hook almost connects to Nicolette. It's going to miss the mark. The BH not missing any marks right now as far as their win condition to get back in this game. Deadly catch comes out to clear some space. Gina, the only one clearing out the cannon minion. Meanwhile, high ground tower falls down. Tarzan gets bursted. Wall charge comes down, but where's the follow-up damage? He's going to be taken out here. The fight unfolds. Gina's immortality gets popped. Sleeps takes down Totenak. They're looking for more. This could be the moment. Boca Roscoe finds Gina. Tarzan looking for the re-engage. Finds one of his own. Nicolette trying to turn around. Shut down. This is what they needed. Double kill for the mid laner for Endables, and a bloodbath is ensued. Nicolette finds the flicker. Finds Boca Roscoe. Triple kill. Will they march this down the mid lord? We'll be spawning in about a minute, and that's a lot of time for anything to go wrong. But Scared, yet tell me what's been going right.
I don't think so. They need a lot at this point. Everything's been falling right for the Endables. The over-engage coming in from Bloodhounds, and we're going to see the final slash. As of now, Tempest is going to do the last thing to save the base. Going to be taken down to half HP, but look at that inhibitor. It is still standing. Tempest doing his own job, making sure that the wave is not enough to push directly into the base. And yes, now we will see Endables positioning for that lot. But again, in that previous fight, it was absurdly long, and you do not want to see Bloodhounds in so long team fights. That yes, Tofu being a Bane into that jungle is going to be pretty tanky. He went in for the tanky Bane, but Fredrin is going to out damage you any time of the day. And even after that, we saw how well Kid played in that. The positioning was absolutely perfect and targeted the main targets, the core targets, plus the engage that came in from Totenak. Bloodhounds used everything to take Totenak out, and they did not have enough to actually finish Gustavo and Tarzan while they were creating the space.
Yeah, that was a flicker bloody hunt. Emily no longer has the ultimate. They couldn't find the kill. Endables can look to punish here. Emily's very low on HP. No one to help disengage. Will be taken down by Tarzan. And with the Lord spawning in, that's going to be a huge advantage for Endables. Bloodhounds, what do you do now? What's the call?
Just defend. You cannot engage in this Lord fight at all. You've lost your main engage tool, that's Emily. You do not have the iron hooks. Yes, Tempest can try and create an opening, but that would only mean the fall for them, because again, you need your main frontliner to actually stand in front of you, plus that suppression is the main key. Both the teams are actually depending so much on their roamers for the engage, for the sets, that if you pick one off from the equation, that gives the room to the other one to actually play around and show the entire strength of their draft. So I really feel like, though, in this situation, Endables' draft is being a little bit more superior, because even after the Grok, they have Gustavo who can literally jump in that backline. Talking about jumping in the backline, for now I thought that we would see an engage, but again, both the teams being A-okay, no one being caught off position as of now.
And pointing out that composition, like you said, a bit of a superiority, but hang on, they go for the wild charge, but Bloodhounds is here to try to re-engage. A good deadly catch. Tickles will take down Gina. That's going to be huge. They find the gold later, and they're not going to stop there. Totenak pops the conceal to avoid a bit of damage. A good play from him, honestly, but a hook connects from Emily. No one there to follow up, but now Bloodhounds can look to defend this Luminous Lord. Endables not going to be able to capitalize on it, so a good pick off from them, right? Playing that death wish, honestly, you could call it. Endables thought they had the moment, but Bloodhounds having the real moment there. Deadly catch, though. Sleeps is going to find a kill here. Tarzan in a bit of trouble now. They don't have a lot to work with. The Brazier Wrap comes down. Sleeps is going to have to force out the flicker. He didn't want to get caught out. The crazy thing is, Totenak didn't even have wall charge. He probably didn't even need to use that flicker, but in a moment like that, you got to play it safe.
I think so. He actually used the wild charge in that mid bush and that wall in order to actually catch Sleeps, and his flicker was the thing that saved his own life. Because the timing was absolutely impeccable on that. He would have been pegged off, and that would have been dead. They would have lost majority of their wave clear, because they depend a lot on this carry to clear those minions, right? Yes. Oh my God.
Emily! A good iron hook. Do they have the damage to find the kill? Sleeps wasn't there, or Sleeps was there, but not able to get in close enough to put on that type of damage. But you can see now the power of Bloodhound's composition. Earlier, without having all that map pressure, without having any map advantage to work with, it's hard to play the pickoff. You don't have a lot of bushes to play with. You also can't deny too much vision from the side of Endables. But now, because of earlier with that first Lord they picked up, they open up the map so much, it's allowing them to cross over the river. It's allowing them to set up these bushes for these pickoffs. And Endables is now feeling the strength of what a pickoff can do to you, especially with Sleeps being 10-2. Obviously, a power force. Tofu separated from the team, but I think he's going to be okay. But wait, why is he still stepping into the bush here? This is not what he should be doing.
I believe
backside. The kid. Kid! Oh!
Oh my goodness.
But almost isn't good enough here in a game like this up against Bloodhounds. Kid 001 making a mistake of her lifetime. Endables, though, they're looking to make them feel the pressure. Meanwhile, the fight's still ensuing. Bloodhounds know they don't have any backup available. Toadneck's all alone, and this is exactly what they want. The members are splitting up from Endables, making things easier, but someone needs to go respond. Boca Roscoe's been taken down. They've been cleared out the high ground tower. Torn Part member goes out to help clear out the minions. There's one member that spawned back in. No one else has came back. Everyone else recalls, get stopped. They're not going to be able to push it, though. Tibbles clears out the minion. Fight still going on. Tarzan in a 1v1 with Sleep. He's going to win that. Pops to Immortality. Should be able to take the kill. Killing spree for him does take him down. 2 members missing from Endables. 4 still up for BH. Should be a Lord in their favor.
Should be, and again, Tarzan could have secured the kill of his lifetime if he would have been able to take Sleeps down in that fight, but was not able to proc the Appraiser's Wrath in time, or probably was not allowed by Sleeps to actually get those orbs to use that Appraiser's Wrath. But that was such a great try from Endables to actually finish the game from the mid lane.
Wait, are they going to test this? Sleep just picks it up for a second. I thought they might have been able to do this. Good final slash. Sleep will punish Toadneck, facilitated by that. Look at Gustavo trying to take down Tofu. Sleep's Immortality gets popped. Who's going to be able to close the distance? Torn Apart memory goes out. Not able to find the kill. That's going to be the end of the thrill there. Luminous Lord, though, coming out from the side of DH. It's going to give him a little bit of breathing room here to work with, Scared.
That clutch wind of nature from Sleep saves his life from the Torn Part memory, and now Endables have to worry about almost everything. They've already lost 2 members. Tarzan, yes, will be up, but again, you will see the entire team of Bloodhounds right on your face trying to end the game as the Luminous Lodge marches down the bottom side. They've used almost everything to actually try and clear the top side, and Tarzan still in a pretty awkward position. Should be able to, maybe not.
Maybe not indeed. We've seen the Bloody Hunt came into play for it. Not going to be able to find the kill. That Luminous Lord is still slowly marching down at full HP. Toadneck still missing from Endables. A good hook comes out from Bloodhounds. This could be the moment. Templess picks up the kill. Immortality down on Gina. Brody's going to go down. Oh no! Fadulio's Bloodhounds turning this game around. Scared yet. We didn't see that one coming.
They did not lose their cool at all, and yes, we did not see that coming at all. Sleeps with the MVP performance, 14-3. They knew where their damage lied, they knew who they needed to protect, and Sleeps just performing, and I believe outperforming everyone's of our expectations in this case, right? We were saying that Sleeps was the one who needed a little bit of more improvement, but showing the skill on this stage and playing like this, and in the entire composition, you are the one who are basically deleting every tanky hero on your opponent. And it's not like Boca Roscoe was the one who was doing damage and Sleeps was just securing the kills. 37% damage dealt. That's 156,000 damage dealt. That is outworldly.
Absolutely outworldly. And it just goes to solidify what we were saying about Sleeps at the start of the game. From the, Valentine's dash, Sleeps seemed to be someone that needs to grow into his own in the gold lane. But again, from Valentine's dash to Cyberpunk Tournament, it's like 2 different gold laners. Sleeps somehow able to prevail. 14 kills, 37% team damage. What was that? 69% turret damage. So playing every objective right, winning the team fights, winning the lanes, and ultimately able to win the game in an uphill battle for BH.
Absolutely. And this was the thing right now, Brody. Yes, Brody is extremely solid in that early to mid game, but you need to snowball the game and you need to finish it off before the 15-minute mark, because if in case it goes more than that, Brody kind of loses his that damage output and is not as damage dealing as he was in that part, so he falls off pretty hard. And that is where Carry shines, and Sleeps playing perfectly to his strength, playing such an insane game. It was so very fun to watch, and plus the way both of these teams were actually going in for the engages. I really love to see the roamers play, and seeing how well Tottenham on those wild charges was giving the setups to his team, and how well Emily was able to get those iron hooks in that end part of the game and land those bloody hunts. It was precious. That was such a precious game, but again, it's just the game number 1. We still have 4 more to go.
I don't know how I popped up on the screen right there. It was like an anomaly, man. We're in the Matrix, in a simulation. But speaking of simulation, what just happened, man? I was watching that game screaming. I don't want to say all the words that I said live on stream, but anyway, it was pretty insane, right? We got to see Bo Carrasco with some insane flickers, Sleeps turning the game around as well. A missed wild charge was dodged by a flicker from Sleeps. Man, it just shows you both of these teams ready to take it to the next level. Definitely has what it takes to be a top 8 team in North America for both of them. And they weren't top 8 before, so that's actually very exciting to see some fresh talent right before the fall season of NACT. But again, that was only game 1, so don't go anywhere. We'll be right back to you guys for the next match.
I've been mortified, 45, feeling like a Mordecai. I ain't regular, feel like Jordan wearing 45. Traumatized, victimized, seen some of my die. Knock you off a base with a bat when them slide. Homicide, genocide, televised, emphasize, perpetuating war to that nigga, he gon' pick a side. Hood ties from hood lines, my nigga doing dope lines. Don't run into the cops, that's a big exercise. Don't run into the cops, that's the motto. I don't see it coming to an end like legato. Get chipped like staccato, send a wave through the hood, now it sounding like vibrato. Why you eat bread with avocado? We be trying to dodge shells before it landing our tomato. Singing all my sorrows on Apollo. I've been trying to pave the way, but they didn't tell me it was potholes. America ain't dreaming, it been scheming when the birth of a nation came from black. We all know it's black genius. Everybody love the culture, they be black by convenience.
Hold on, my killer. You talking way too much conscience. Speak about some girls or some money or some diamonds or something. I'm not telling you to rap, not to rap how you rap, but make something we can vibe to.
Sounding like a real anthem. Shawty saw my wallet, now she think I answer. Whoa, telling me she wanted me to hammer. Trying to get saved, baby, I am not the answer. No, I can never trick. Let the bitch is my bitch with a kiss on my lips like, I am not a pimp with a limp. I'm a man with a gift, and I'm doing my shit like, Tell them other nips, I'm the nip. I'm the man in the city, and my bank account bigger, and my body count bigger. That's without a doubt. I'm 100 steps ahead, that's a lot of mouth. That's a lot of clout. What you all about? What your dollar amount? You a boy scout, I'm a big dog. Tell the truth, I don't get y'all to shoot. Time to corny, motherfucker, turn this shit off, bro. I can't rap how everybody else rap, bro. Everybody talking about cars, clothes, chains, and money. That shit corny as fuck, bro. Oh God, I don't want to rap about that corny ass shit.
Like, ride with me if you ride with me, you can slide with me if you feel like 550 on the 5 sticky, come get high with me, that's a deal, right? Ride with me if you ride with me, you can slide with me if you feel like 550 on the 5 sticky, come get high with me, that's a deal, right? That's a deal, right? That's a bet, right? That's a bet, right? That's a deal, right? That's a deal, right? That's a bet, right? That's a deal, right? That's a deal, right? That's a bet, right? That's a deal, right? That's a deal, right? Ay, coming down like precipitation. I ain't never met a limitation. Hater plotting my elimination. Gotta go to Google for the information. I'm a superstar, so I gotta shine. Top dollar be the bottom line. Bottom feeding niggas out of line. Turn your heart rate to a dotted line. Yeah, my zodiac probably dollar sign. Got the energy to win it, my nigga, I'm feeling great. Got a date with Destiny, focus.
Man, oh man, what a game! Best of 5, part 1 of the semifinals for the Cyberpunk Tournament. Bloodhounds versus Endables. Bo Carrasco leading Bloodhounds. Milo leading the Endables. And what a turnaround, right? Looked like Endables was going to be able to claim victorious. And then a couple of high IQ plays over there by the side of Bloodhounds to turn it around with Sleeps, with some amazing flickers, with Emily getting online late game with the Franco. What more could you ask for? And that's only game 1. So let's not waste any more time. Let's go ahead and swing back over to our amazing caster's desk. And as I'm here, guys, man, I gotta say, Scared Jet, he likes to just pop in like a ninja, so he'll be there in a second. But there he goes. Man, that was insane, right? Just one game, and we're going into best of 5. Are you still sticking with your predictions? You still rooting for the Bloodhounds over there, Deku, or do you think Endables will be able to turn this around?
I mean, it's hard to not have faith in the team that not only wins the game, but wins it that they were honestly looking destined to lose. It takes a lot of mental fortitude to make those type of comebacks happen, especially considering the only real scaling pick they had was Sleeps on the carry, and apparently a scaling Franco, okay? We went from no hooks to pretty much every hook in the late game. Emily, I don't know who scaled harder, carry or Franco. Scared Jet, what do you think?
the later the game goes, the stronger my hooks will get, and get over here every single time. Be engaged to your team. That was literally one of the most amazing Franco that I've seen. And Emily, just from beginning, when just as you mentioned, there were almost no hooks, to the late game where she landed every single hook, gave the opening that a team needed, and sleeps on the carry, playing excellent. And again, I would really like to appreciate the other members as well, who were able to just save sleeps from every possible, deadly situation. But now we're gonna go into the game number 2 draft. I'm really excited to get this.
And there we go.
Okay.
Right into the draft. Thoughts? After last game, do we see any picks get banned out? Well, there's one, Valentina.
It was really good because, again, we were talking about this after the game as well. The pick that kid would have got probably on Bogarosco in that last fight, that could have entirely changed the outcome. And seeing how well Valentina deals the damage in that late game, I really love this ban coming in from Bloodhounds. That's a good respect ban. But as of now, again, Franco being taken out, Emily would be on cloud 9 at this point.
No scaling for BH. They don't want any more late game cores going to their side, especially in position 5. Taking out the Franco is a valid ban for me. I mean, honestly, if they didn't have the Franco, it's hard for me to imagine a game there where BH wins, because Sleeps did a great job, but we have to give a lot of credit just to who opened it, right? A lot of those pickoffs that they got were from Emily. The iron hooks, the bloody hunt. It wasn't too many times that she came up short. There was a few times I remember specifically, maybe it didn't work. That mid lane engage, she flickered in for Kid on the Valentina, weren't able to find the kill. They got counter engaged. But besides moments like that, really came alive, really helped dictate the flow of the game. It's an absolute worthy ban for Endables there. You have to take that off the board.
Agreed. And now, of course, that does leave room to a pretty less pool in that department. But again, there is a card up open and works similar to a Franco. You use a flicker and then you use a Divine Judgment into the dash towards your own team. So that would work really well. But we're going to see the Faramis ban being retained alongside the Lancelot. Really loving it. But what is going to be the next ban? Now, we did not see a Joy being banned out in the previous draft and it was not even picked up. But I was really surprised on Gustavo on that Lapu, the way he was actually dominating Arlet. I did not expect that to happen. We might possibly see the same thing.
Yeah, they were definitely, it was a crazy matchup. I mean, two EXP laners, they're playing top lane, but there was only one top in that scenario, and that was definitely the Lapu in Gustavo's hands. I will say though, right, from Endables now, there's a lot of prior bans to take out. Something they may not be able to get rid of this time, X-Borg. That could fall through the bans this time. Bloodhounds could look to be able to pick that up and put that into Easy Peasy's hands. There's just not enough room, not enough time to get that off the board. They're gonna have to give up something BH wants to play. And that Kaj is a great point that you mentioned, because Emily did pull that out, I believe, in the top 16 and performed extremely well with it. Oh, and they banned it out. So there they go. They take out the Kaja that you kind of pointed out that we kind of broke down there.
But again, there are a ton of utility heroes. I was about to say the Novaria is also going to walk away in this draft, picked up right off the bat. They're still hovering over the Novaria, though might change it. But again, once you've already shown it, do not let it go into the hands of Endables, because the utility that you will have, the reveal with the long range snipe damage, you can pair it up with a Beatrice and can play in your inhibitors while sniping everyone at tier 3s.
Yeah, and honestly, BH picking up the Novaria also lets them lock in that additional jungler, because last time Bogarosco picked up the Novaria, I believe in the same top 16 match, was able to take both the opening buffs, the orange and the purple, from the opposing jungler. So with that being said, you get two junglers for the price of one with this pick here.
Agreed, because your damage on that level 1 is more than the retribution damage, and that is crazy to think about. Like, just even think about that. I am the jungler, I've got the spell to actually save my own buff, and I'm like, no, you don't. That's my buff, and that's our team's buff. But again, I love the Kufra pick coming in from the Endables. It is a pretty early though. They're showing their cards very early, so BH might be able to counter draft that, but again, it was banned out in the second phase, so I personally feel that maybe they could have left it up open till the final pick in the first phase, but showing it up way too early, it does leave room for a lot of potential strong EXP laners that might fall into the hands of Bloodhounds, Arlet being one of them.
Joy as well, Glue as well. But you know what? Honestly, since this recent patch update, it feels like every EXP laner is strong right now. They all got a bit of love with that emblem adjustment for the fighter change, the Festival of Blood, the Brave Smite. I mean, you can take anything in EXP right now and have a great time if you're looking to just sustain. So with that being said, I feel like anything is possible. And we saw that taking the R-Lot or one of the big 3 EXPs don't always mean it's going to be profitable. But I see your eye there, someone that got locked in. Go ahead, tell me how you feel about it.
Purple and Koopa, that too will inspire. I don't think so they actually want to lock it right away. There was a meta of Purple and Koopa wherein you would just focus down on those towers, building up the Blade of Despair and then following it up with the Demon Hunter Sword. You chunk those towers instantly, and if there's any kind of squishy in front of you, you delete them off the battlefield right away. But again, they're gonna stick to the basics, carry in the hands of Sleeps yet again. Okay. And Endables answering it back with a Selena. We're probably seeing it after such a long time. The nerfs that she received, she kind of fell off the meta entirely, but bringing Selena back up, it could work. It could work.
The way I'm looking at it, right, is in the position for, at least so far, because this Navaria can be flexed to a position 5, and that has been done on the competitive scene. But for right now, we'll acknowledge this position 4. But okay, no, they're not going to go for Selena. So we'll just erase that whole thought. Joy gets locked in for the R-Lot matchup. Last time, it was the R-Lot and Lapu. We saw the R-Lot struggle into the Lapu. Should do a little better into the Joy, but also it seemed that the R-Lot, it really didn't matter that they didn't have advantage in the lane, because later on in the fights, we talked a lot about Emily opening up. A couple good final slashes came out into play too from this R-Lot for good counter engages and just for good, decent disengage as well to help them along with Boca Roscoe. So I like the pick, even it's not doing too great in the matchup, just because of how they play it later on after the laning phase.
Absolutely, and it was about the tankiness. Lapu in that mid to late game, he goes on and lean towards that tankiness and his way and ability to survive using the skill 2 whenever he uses the ultimate. So he gets a lot of damage reduction, and then he's able to provide the opening, trying to disrupt the fight, divide that fight, and give the opening to your own jungler as well as your marksman to actually maneuver around them, kite around them, and finish them off. While the Joy actually is more on that damage dealing side. You need to make the Athena shield. You need to respect that damage, otherwise you will be deleted in an instant. We've seen that happening to marksmen and mages before, and what else to close that gap to Novaria other than the fact that you can have amazing dashes and amazing range with those rhythm, as long as you're landing them on perfect beats.
And right now I'm trying to look ahead, right? For BH, Rome's already been locked in, right, for the side of Endables. BH, they go for the carry again. We know they went for the Franco. We know if you play the Franco, you're probably gonna look for the Kaja. Got panned out as well. But we also know with the carry, a lot of the time that position 5 seems to tie into that pick off type of style, right? You want to pick off, she single target the speedy light wheels, you get one target to burst down. No matter who you pull, especially after a certain point, and we saw that from Sleeps on the carry, no matter who you pull, it's pretty much an auto kill. So now wondering, with both of those taking off the board, what does Emily go? Could we see something like a Grok perhaps, maybe for the composition for BH to lock that in for them?
Minotaur is also up for grabs, so they can go for it if they want to. And you mentioned the Grok, it's been banned out. Thank you for the casters.
There we go. It seems like every pick I feel like would be good, and they just always ban it out in that second pick.
They're reading your mind at this point. They're like, okay, so Deiko is thinking that Grok might be good, let's ban it out, let's not give that to the Bloodhound. They might go in for some amazing setups. But again, I want to bring your attention back to the Lunox pick. The way that VH is drafting, banning out those mages, does point out that Novaria is going to be in that mid lane position. Now, what other heroes that you can use in order to counter the Novaria? There's of course that was Eve that has been banned out. There's also a Farsa that can probably work out, has got an amazing range. But there's also one more pick that we saw probably just once coming out, and that was the Xavier. And in the late game it was the Menace. It is possible that they might want to go with it because they have got a solid front line in the form of that Kufra and the Joy to disrupt the enemy's backline. But here we go. Minotaur.
Minnows coming up. Is that locked? Did that get locked? Sleeps? Or not Sleeps easy peasy? I didn't even know he played Fanny.
Okay.
I had no idea this man could play Fanny. So that's crazy. What a way to just blow everything out of the water. Because right now for Endables, they only have really one answer to deal with this Fanny. So this could be very strong for them to be able to have this. But no, okay, forget it. I was like, I've never seen this, and I think I have pretty good information on most of the teams. They're gonna go for the X when they got let through the bans. Crisis averted.
Payback time.
And again, a pretty solid pick coming in. You kind of counter the deadly catch using the lasting insanity, so pretty good tools to actually counter engage. And you've also got the Minotaur who can go in for those Minnow and Fury flicker setups wherein everyone's knocked up, and all you have to do is just tap on your ultimate and blow everything up. So pretty solid composition. The Farsa is going to be logged in for the mage position. No, they were asked. But okay, the drafts are done. Deku, what do you think? Who has the upper hand in the draft?
I'm gonna have to give it over to BH just because of the fact, like, I mean, they picked up Navaria, right? And I love to look at the numbers, and honestly, in the mid lane right now, Navaria is what you want in your mid lane there. Something got your tongue there?
Emily is on the jungle.
Am I missing something?
Welcome to Mobile Legends.
Oh, you're right.
So, that's what got my attention. Emily on the jungle Xbox and Spirit on the Minotaur in that roam position. So I'm really excited to see how this is going to work out. They've got a lot of priority in those lanes, but again, the possibility and the potential of Endables is impeccable at this point. So we'll have to see how things are going to roll out. It's the game number 2 of the semi-final Cyberpunk Tournament. Let's see who gets the win.
Oh, I'm not sure about how Emily performs on the X-Boy. That might, I feel like I still want to give the BH just because I like the Minnow paired up with the R-Lot here. I think that's a really strong combination. We've seen it out in regions like for MSC at competitive levels there. The Navaria, again, so strong in the Cyberpunk. Once you get it in the mid lane, you pretty much have won that. At least that's one piece of the puzzle that's pretty much solved. Export for Bloodhounds has always been good. They're always pulling it out. Again, with Emily, I'm just not sure. But Sleeps has the carry, very strong for him. We saw that led the team to a win. So I think BH has it on paper there to answer the question. But we're going to have to see if this flexibility is going to hold strong for them.
I love the fact that you said on paper, as we're going to see the engage coming already on the orange buff.
Wow. Tarzan engaging with the Bane, taking a lot of damage from the Astral Recall there. This could be quickly punished. You don't have Flicker. All you have is Spreadsheet Bokarosco. First blood, opening up the game for BH in the optimal way. Unlike last time where Endables stroke first, Bloodhounds filling the confidence, filling the momentum from game 1, opens up in spectacular fashion.
Agreed, and you can always see the momentum being carried on to the next game because we are seeing Sleeps winning in the lane against the Beatrix. Sleeps is having the priority in that, even though we know that Beatrix wins the lane against carry 9 out of 10 times, but this is that 1 of 10 wherein Sleeps is the one who is dominating. Look at the positioning of Gina, just playing so very safe in the tower, knows that there could be a Minotaur hanging around, the potential of that kickoff coming in, but we're going to see probably a turtle fight.
And it looks like it should go into the Bokarosco! What did I say? You get a jungler for free. It's a 2-for-1 deal. It's a great bargain. Comes at a very, very cheap discount, and BH is profiting right now with it.
Our buff. That's what he said.
Our buff. That's how Mafia works.
Absolutely correct. And Bloodhounds at this point, they're no less than a Mafia because we're seeing the aggressive plays coming in. Probably in the bottom lane, we might see an engage.
They're connecting on the fur. They're going to use the Tyrant's Revenge and Rage there. Kid 001 will find the kill with the Feather Airstrike so they even things up on the board. As a nice shot goes out on the Salty. Hang on here, though. Up in the top side, Gustavo taking a bit of damage from Emily on this X-Borg, who honestly right now not dying, not losing the buff early on. I'm impressed so far. The position 5 over to the position 2 here into the jungle. BH showing that they have a good range of flexibility and they can bring it to you any which way they want to.
Absolutely, and for now we're gonna see probably the support being shown into Gustavo on that top side because they have to make sure their EXP is pretty safe. But Gina Want to look for a cheeky snipe, no damage at all. That's the first time I've seen a Beatrix not being able to do that half HP damage on that sniper. But again, feels good to see. Feels good to see. But Tarzan, even though that first engage did not work out in their favor, he knows that he's got the priority and jumps in to steal away that red buff, take away the farm from Emily. So doing a pretty good job at that.
Yeah, doing a great job so far. It's pretty even right now in terms of gold, but you can definitely feel where a bit of the pressure's coming out from BH in the mid lane. Final slash Tarzan's in trouble. Templess takes him down. BH goes up +1 on the kill advantage, and with the turtle spawning in and a nice shot from Boca Roscoe to force another recall, that's going to be 2 members missing from this objective.
That is true, but Gustavo can make the play of his lifetime if in case Bloodhounds decide to engage on that turtle without the Firaga armor on to Emily. But alright, you know that she's a jungler, she will get the Firaga armor eventually. But looking at the bottom side, Sleep surviving that 1v2 as of now. You might be picked off.
Uh-oh. Speaking of pick off, the one you were talking about having the play of their life here, Gustavo will get taken out. Crazily enough, on the opposite end, Gina picks up the kill finally now down in the bot side. This is so unfortunate because something to really talk about. Tarzan somehow, some way has the level advantage. He's died twice so far. Emily has taken no deaths and he's still leading +1 in EXP, but they can't even close the distance to reach the neutral objective to use the advantage.
That is correct. And again, that might be only because of the fact that you are denying your opponent a major creep and also stealing it away at the same time. So you'll get the kind of double EXP advantage. But for now, we're probably going to see the engage going in yet again. Totnak charging up.
And they're going to commit there, but he lands onto the big boy on the Minotaur. So nothing to really take advantage of, unlike they did in lane not too long ago. Endables trying to find some answers. BH not trying to let him figure it out. Reveals some vision. Boca Roscoe connects there onto Kid, and honestly, the later this game goes, the more dangerous a shot like that landing will be.
It seems like it's properly proportionate, you know. Boca Roscoe on the Novari, yes, he's going to land that shot, and that's exactly what's been happening.
There it goes. Ooh, we got a different sniper on the field.
Someone nerf his aim. He's landing every single shot, and we probably might see a in the mid one. Kid not gonna survive that.
There's the pickoff, but we're not going to get to see it. But fight not going to stop just yet, potentially. Totnak taking a bit of damage, but it looks like the fight's going to be over. Ill-advised deadly catch comes out. But speaking of advised, great play here coming out from Endables. They're going to take advantage to pick up the tower and leave just a little bit of pressure. The thing here right now, Scared, you have to ask you, when does BH start to convert? They're leading in kills and such, but not able to find objectives. So speaking of objectives, Endables going to find potentially another kill, but no. Great Minoan's Fury to help Sleeps disengage there. No one's going to fall, and they stop the recall from Totnak.
Wow. That was, at that point, I really wanted to say that if Totnak lands this Tyrant's Revenge onto Sleeves, they will get the pick of their lifetime that they need and they will get the snowball kicking in. But the way he saved it before now, someone saved the life of Kid. Would survive, Wings by Wings combined with the Flicker, but no more Flicker to work during this turtle engage now.
That's right, and it's being pulled over to the side of BH. They have most of the control. Pretty a feather airstrike and deadly catch coming out, so this should be an easy grab. But no, Tarzan picks it up either way with the retribution. Here comes Mlsa with the joy, unleashes the beats. Listen to the music and dance to it, but doesn't find the kill. Here comes the last insanity from Emily ML. Boca Roscoe takes the kill on Gustavo. A tower dive from Totnak, and a great snipe from Gina. Salty, what a sweet shot from him, the SS. Coming out from the Beatrix. Endables not going to let things go so easily as they find the tower.
They found the objective, they found the tower, they've also got the pick-off that they needed onto Emily, that to the jungler. But what I want to point out is how did Template survive the rhythm of Joy? Joy was in the ultimate form with the vengeance. You are not at all supposed to survive that. How did you manage to do it? I need some coaching classes from them, man. That was insane. Plus the snipe from Boca Roscoe. I don't think so. At this point, it's even valid to point it out how many times he's landed that, and landing it such a perfect point between 3 people. Literally between 3 people. You land the snipe on the perfect target. But speaking of perfect targets,
talking about it, Gina finds another kill, killing spree for the gold laner from Endables. This time playing a little bit better on the Beatrix. And again, they found a lot of kills, but they've also been converting it to these objectives. And that's kind of what I wanted to ask you earlier. BH had this advantage. Now they've fallen behind. They never were able to turn it up and profit on some towers. They still have currently 0. Sleeps though, trying to find a kill. He's gonna get met by Totnak though to help Gina disengage, but now he's all alone. Speedy Light Wolf comes out, forces out the flicker, but look at the top side of the map. Endables making plays. They're gonna find a tier 2 Templars all alone. Tarzan doesn't want to let him go. Neither does Sparsa. Feather Airstrike comes out. He stops it though with the Petrify. So no more ultimates coming down from the sky, but Gustavo's still gonna take him down. I guess he didn't have good rhythm. They caught him lacking with his footwork.
We're pretty tired from all those dancing around the map and, you know, pushing the lane again and again, rotating back and forth. But here's the thing, Endables playing really well. Speaking of playing really well, again, Führer almost being picked off, such a low HP. And there we go, Roscoe, another snipe, another chip damage onto Totnak. Now, Endables have the priority in the Lord Pit. It's just like the previous game, but just a little more flipped around. But speaking about flipped around,
speaking of it, Endables looking to pick this up, looking to secure this, and they will. Uncontested from BH. But hang on, a potential 1v1. Do they both know the others there? We got the tri-bush, we got the new bush. I think Gina's aware, looking for the bait, but no, maybe he's not. I think he second-guessed himself, and that's where Sleeps puts him down. Don't call him Sleeps, call him Sandman. He puts you down when you don't want to go.
just putting Gina back to sleep for this Lord fight. It seems like a deja vu because this is the similar thing that happened in the previous game. And oh my goodness, we're going to see the engage in the mid lane, Deku, but again, not probably a full-on engage, just them trying to pick someone else off. But it should be an easy defense for the Bloodhounds. There's no more Beatrix to steal away those towers, to take away those, you know, structures out.
And that's exactly what they've been doing, man. Again, another great electrifying kill from BH, but where do we convert? It feels like Endables is the only team here to play the objective. 5 towers to the 0 in the favor of Bloodhounds. At some point, they have to open up this map, or are they going to wait for the late game scaling again to start taking down the towers? Oh, a great snipe from halfway across the screen. It's going to open up a bit of distance for them, looking to control the river, but nice little astral. Echo comes out, Toknak connects with the knocked up. No one's going to follow up here. Not going to be a fight breaking out. Both teams going to play it slow, scared.
Yes, that astral echo was so well done, well placed. They got the information on 4 of them. And they even saw the 5th one in that map. So, of course, not getting ahead of themselves, playing it pretty safe. And we're going to see Gina again clearing the bottom side out. We will see Bloodhounds spawn out, trying to position, trying to open up the map slowly. Working out the way that you would want to, because Führer is again getting picked off multiple times. Now, this is the kind of pressure that you... Speaking about pressure, that was a good one from Roscoe again.
Was a good bit of pressure as Gina holds it down. The range doesn't connect with the snipe though. A little heat check in the river bush. Bloodhounds trying to make something happen, but again, they haven't found any advantage. Look at this though, concealed play. They have eyes on Sleeves. They want to send it back to him, want to put him in a coma. Toknak flicker. He's going to connect with the ult. Can Gina get there in time for the kill? Yes, he will. Takes him down for her all alone. They're going to go ahead and take him as well. Gina picks up the double. Endables, what a play. Roscoe, though, good damage here with the lightning crunch, but damage doesn't beat out kills there. It's 2-0 unanswered.
And now they've got such a great priority for the Lord. It's 22 more seconds. They're going to position themselves around the Lord. They've got no worries about Führer whatsoever. Now, here's the thing. I really feel that the entire combo of Führer on the Minotaur and Roscoe on the Novaria is just a tiny bit off. If it would be just a little more coordinated, I believe they would be converting those picks. They would be taking those kills. Even though Sleeps was picked off, they probably had a chance. But again, they have to work around those waves as well. They have to take care of the lanes that are being very well managed by the Joy pick. Gustavo on that Joy, just making sure that the top lane is always pushing towards the side of Bloodhound. So always applying that constant pressure from that side of the map.
Right, definitely a bit of pressure. Speaking of though, looks like Bloodhounds might be able to pick up their first tower. Yeah, first tower in this game so far. Definitely important for them. But look at this from Endables. Do you have an eye on the roam there for Endables? He used the conceal. He set up behind him. Toadneck finds a knock-up. Not going to be able to use the ultimate. They keep stunning him. They're not going to get off, but Kid's still going to finally kill the Boca Roscoe. Huge pick-off for them there. Endables having the advantage with the Luminous Lord coming down on the top side. This is going to be a great setup for them to find some high ground towers.
That is true. You got the first tower of the game, but at what cost? That's going to be the question. Dauntless almost getting caught up in the Tyrant's Revenge, but they should be able to clear that lot. Rajan already using up it. Where did Fury go? And sleeps!
They're not gonna stop. They want a lot more here. They take them down, and the Bulls can look to take the game here, and they will. What a turnaround from game one. Mama, there goes that man.
Victory!
They were not able to complete this specific thing with the Brody, but on that Beatrix, Gina just popping off like anything. Even though Boca Roscoe was the one who was sniping every now and then, we did see Gina even playing with the Wesker. We don't usually see Wesker being pulled out, but again, when it's in the hand of Gina, anything can happen. And it's just as you mentioned, Führer trying to go in for those engages. They kind of played it more as a re-engage tool, but they did not have enough sustainability to survive through the burst of Gina, through the burst of Gustavo and Kid to actually try and go for the re-engage. They were just being picked off in that first Tyrant's Revenge and Rage combination by Totnak. What a game coming in from Endables. What an answer.
You know, honestly, at this point, hey, there you are. So at this point, right, I'm starting to feel like I think it's kind of coming clear, right? Game 2 now. First game MVP Sleeps. Second game MVP Gina. Both marksmen leading the teams for the victory. I think it's there. I don't want to be that guy, but I think this is going to be the gold lane matchup, and everyone else is just a bunch of supporting characters. Get out the way and let them get online.
More or less like Deku versus Bakugo popping in. You never know who would be the one who would be winning in that matchup. But again, it's a pretty solid matchup, and very well mentioned Deku coming in that it does depend on which marksman pops off when and who provides the more value to that team. Sleep, yes, was able to do very good in the previous one, but was very well shut down by that Kufra pick. Now, I probably am expecting a Kufra ban in game number 3. What do you think, Steph, is going to happen?
Man, I'm not gonna lie, that Kufra on Totnak was insane. That extended flicker for the Tyrant's Revenge, man, that was just an insane play. Some crazy setups. That was more of a, it looked like it was gonna go in Bloodhound's favor, but then right after that 12-minute mark, it was just a one-sided story for the Endables, able to close that out, and now that's gonna even out the series. This is a best-of-5 semifinals part 1 for the Cyberpunk Tournament, and already you don't know which way it's gonna go. Game 1, we see Bloodhounds come back, an epic comeback if you say so. But game 2, it looked like Endables actually turned it around at that 12-minute mark, and Bloodhounds was not able to find any of the turrets for the first half of the game, and I think that's where they kind of lacked was that that turret prioritization. Even though they were leading in terms of the farm, in terms of the jungle, it's just not able to claim those turrets is what started snowballing for the side of the Endables to be able to have that slight advantage when it came to those engagements. So guys, don't go anywhere. We will be jumping into game 3 momentarily between the Endables and Bloodhounds.
I've been mortified, 45, feeling like a Mordecai. I ain't regular, feel like Jordan wearing 45. Traumatized, victimized, seen some of die. Knock you off a base with a bat when them slide. Homicide, genocide, televised, emphasize, perpetuating war. Tell that nigga he gon' pick a side. Hood ties from hood lines, now nigga doing dope lines. I'm running to the cops, that's a exercise. Don't run into the cops, that's the motto. I don't see it coming to an end like legato. Get chipped like staccato, send a wave through the hood, now it's sounding like vibrato. Why you eat bread with avocado? We be trying to dodge shells before it landing our tomato. Singing all my sorrows on Apollo. I've been trying to pave the way, but they didn't tell me it was potholes. America ain't dreaming, it been scheming when the birth of a nation came from black. We all know it's black. Genius, everybody love the culture, they be black by convenience.
Hold on, my killer. You talking way too much conscience. Speak about some girls or some money or some diamonds or something. I'm not telling you to rap, not to rap how you rap, but make something we can vibe to.
Sounding like a real anthem. Shawty saw my wallet, now she think I answer. Whoa, telling me she wanted me to hammer. Trying to get saved, baby, I am not the answer. No, I can never trick, unless the bitch is my bitch with a kiss on my lips like, I am not a pimp with a lip, I'm a man with a gift, and I'm doing my shit like, tell them other nips, I'm the nip, I'm the man in the city, and my bank account bigger, and my body count bigger, that's without a doubt. I'm 100 steps ahead, that's a lot of mouth, that's a lot of clout. What you all about? What your dollar amount? You a boy scout, yeah, I'm a big dog. Tell the truth, I don't get y'all this shit. Sound corny, turn this shit off, bro. I can't rap how everybody else rap, bro. Everybody talking about hoe, cars, clothes, chains, and money. That shit corny as fuck, bro. Oh God, I don't want to rap about that corny ass shit.
Like, ride with me if you ride with me, you can slide with me if you feel like 550 on the 5 sticky, come get high with me, that's a deal, right? Ride with me.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Cyberpunk Tournament Semifinals Part 1. A tournament where the Mobile Legends Scrim Academy has officially opened the doors for Season 3, partnered up with Raz and Outplay, give 32 teams a chance to compete for $1,000 US, and also partnered up with Moonton for an amazing cash prize. Or not cash prize, but diamond prize. Ooh, would have been crazy. Cash of 100,000 diamonds. Super excited to see these teams competing. Right now, we're watching the Endables going up against Bloodhounds, 1-1 in this amazing best of 5. But let's not spoil all the fun. Let's go ahead and move on over to our amazing caster's desk.
Scared yet? Come on, stop being shy. There he goes.
Okay, we're back again, and this time probably we are going in to jump in that game number 3. Deku, we saw both the teams popping off in game 1. It was Bloodhounds. In game 2, it was Endables. What do you think is going to happen this time? Bloodhounds or Endables?
I mean, game 1 it was Sleeps. Game 2 it was Gina. I don't know if it's the pattern. I guess game 3 gonna be back to Sleeps.
Let's see how things are actually going to roll out in the drafting phase for game number 3. Okay, this time I've got the Endables.
And I got BH. Rightfully so. There we go. So, I mean, taking it off, looking at it, we got a couple bans out already. Another respect from Endables. Obviously, keep the Frank off the table. If they've done it once, they'll probably do it twice, thrice, and so on. So we'll keep it off the board. Eve, again, another consistent ban it's been so far. It's been a lot of priority on mid lane bans, except the last one. Navaria made it through all the way, but Endables is first pick this time. I don't think BH will do the same thing.
To live is to trick.
It is possible, but again, do they ban out the Khufra? That's going to be the question, or they try to pick it themselves to deny that pick, because we did see Endables playing excellent on that hero. They picked up the Khufra up early on, and they just made sure that it's going to work out for the entirety of the game, because they banned out all the other roamers. That was potentially going to go into the hands of Emily, and then they had to put the put Führer on to that Minotaur, which did not exactly work out the way that BH would have wanted to. But again, they're still going to be retaining the Lancelot as well as the Framis being banned out, just like the previous 2 games. And this time, I believe Endables again can, do this, maybe tell a similar story, just like the previous game. It worked out for them in the previous one, so why fix what's not broken?
Speaking of fixing things that aren't broken, neither one of these gold laners suffer at all in the Beatrix. I'm honestly hoping and maybe expecting BH to try to lock that in for Sleeps there. He's also a phenomenal Beatrix player. I think if you can secure that for one or the other, it's very strong, and it still fits for what they want to do. Actually, the great thing about Beatrix is it can fit into either idea. So last game they went for the Minotaur. It kind of went away from their usual pick off in the position 5. Maybe that was just because Emily got swapped. I'm not sure. But Beatrix fits in both. That's the great thing about it. She's so versatile. You can play her in the pick off with the Kaja, with the Franca, Khufra, Cho, whatever. But you can also go into those AoE team fights with the Bennett, right? With the Rocket, the Nibru's Passion. So I really feel like it should be a hot commodity in between both of these teams to go for that Beatrix.
Highly possible, can be an extremely contested pick, and it's just as you called out, BH banning out the Novaria, so leaves room open for a ton of heroes, ton of utilities to be picked up. We did see BH banning out the Valentina in the previous one. This time it has been left open, but Khufra is going to be retained right away from Endables. Now, again, Deku, I know this has not been very prominent, but do you think that BH could actually pick up the Jawhead to answer the Khufra in that position?
A jawhead. It's been a long time since the old robotic man has been into the battlefield. I don't think I've seen him anywhere. I've cast in a few scenes. I'm not sure if that's something they would play. I haven't seen that in their pool. At least from what I've seen, the data I have collected on this team and between both, I just don't think we'll see that realistically. But it would be entertaining if it did happen.
My own path. True. I mean, the moment you're gonna jump using the Tyrant's Revenge, become a bouncing ball, you are down in the inhibitor from outside of the map. So again, it's really fun to see all those flicker ejector plays coming in from the Jawhead, but it's possible we might not probably see that coming up right now. But I really love the picks coming in from BH. They knew the Valentina was open. They're picking it up to deny that to Endables and locking it for themselves. Now, very solid pick. We've seen Bokarosko play a ton of mages. Well, we did see the Valir in the previous one, and this time we'll be seeing him on Valentina. So I'm expecting him to output a ton of damage, just like we saw the same thing happening from Kid in game number 1, but Farsa being picked up, and I personally feel it is pretty early to pick Farsa up, and you kinda provide a ton of utility to even Valentina with that Feather Air Strike.
You could say, but it was at one point like the normal matchup, right? At first it was Farsa Eve, and once Eve kind of fell off and the Valentina kind of picked up, you put it in there just because the ultimate's strong. Yeah, but I feel like it goes a lot better just on Farsa herself. But I will say, right, having this Farsa, I don't think it's necessarily too early. You already have the EXP revealed from BH. Not really big of a threat for backline engage. Obviously, Rome is still open to be able to counter out, but at least so far in the mid lane, you went out in range, which I think is always the most important for the position 4, is being able to win out in the range category. The EXP isn't exactly going to hard dive you. Now you just have to worry about that position 5 from BH.
And again, we're gonna see the Xborg coming up in that jungle position, so maybe it's gonna go back into the hands of Emily then, and they want to try and reiterate what they missed in the previous game, but this time they've got the Valentina to work with. So first phase over, both the teams dropped, looking pretty solid. They've revealed their cards. There's the last 2 picks remaining. What are going to be the bans? Both of the teams have picked up their mages, their junglers. Now all that's left for Endables is to ban out probably the Atlas, just like they did in the previous one, or maybe take away the Minotaur if they need to. I don't think so. Minotaur actually proved a problem to them.
I don't think so either. No. They ban out the carry, so not bad. They're not going to let Sleeps take this. Again, this is where I feel like the Beatrix comes up. It is so strong for either one of these teams to take it. And honestly, it's so good just because, again, it fits into what BH wants, but it also fits into Endables. They like to get moving side to side, that lateral movement on the map to take out those towers. Beatrix is great at doing it, just like they did with the Brody. She's a great defender in lane as well, to help against those sieges and pushes, a lot of the dives, which BH loves to play with. I feel like they take it here. I really do. I think it's a great option for them to put into their composition. And again, especially because the gold lane pulls the dwindling. Both of these teams are banning out marksmen, and both teams need them. And there they ban out a Mlsa. So further increasing the odds of a Beatrix. Beatrix has to be picked up. They get first pick on red side. They have to take it in.
Give me a
and there goes Leslie. Jesus.
They're both just targeting that gold lane, hard targeting the gold lane. But again, it's just as you said, Beatrix needs to be picked up at this point. You don't have any other tools remaining apart from a Brody. And if Brody is not picked up, maybe we're gonna see okay, the 1-1 is still open though, so it is possible if they want to flex it. Endables can pick up the 1-1 as well, but just as you mentioned, and that thumbs up is absolutely perfect. It's Beatrix logged in from Bloodhounds.
You take Beatrix there, you take Brody over here for Endables, everyone gets what they want, but no, hang on. Harith? Gold lane? Hello? Central Irritable? What do you call it?
If in case they want to go in for a physical damage EXP lane, they can actually put either a Harith or the better pick in that goal personally would have been a Lunux, but they are going to pick the Joy for the EXP, so they've got to lean in for that physical damage, and they are going to go with the Irithel. I guess it's the first Irithel pick in the tournament.
You know, it's so crazy because last year's MSC, so MSC 2021, Irithel was actually like just stalked through the roof up against the Beatrix matchup. Not sure how it's supposed to fare now, but there is an old narrative between both these picks, so I'm not really necessarily mad at it. I guess it fits in the all-in category. You're rushing with the irritable, you're rushing with the joy, you let Farsa do her thing behind you with the feather airstrikes. Maybe if Cooper can find the set, maybe be okay. This is very mobile, but we'll have to see. Like you said, first pick here in the Cyberpunk Tournament, and it's been a while since I've seen an irritable run around on the competitive scene.
True, and I love the Atlas pick coming in from the side of Bloodhounds. You know that the Kufra is going to jump in, go in for those engages, wants to try as many people as possible, and others are going to follow up. Yes, you might not be able to reach till Farsa, but you've got Irithel right in front of you. You've got the Kufra, you might potentially catch Bane as well. So I love the pick, but there would be a few slip-ups possibly, because Farsa is running on the Purify and so is Irithel. So they're kind of negating the Atlas pick coming in. This might actually for Endables entirely, because they might entirely deny that engage coming in. But it's just as you mentioned, Irithel up against the Beatrix. We did see Irithel being used up a lot, but my question right now would be, do you go in for the critical damage build or do you go in for the Trinity one? I have not seen Trinity that often, so I believe they would go in for the critical.
5 seconds.
On the irritable, you said? Yeah, I feel like you absolutely have to go it here. Honestly, I don't find too much merit in you going to Trinity either way, even if it was like an option. It's not like there's a bunch of beefy picks coming out from the side of BH. You definitely can run a critical on this soft composition, and that's kind of just what Irritable goes for. It's just one of those things you go. But I will say, interestingly enough, with the critical build, we did see it has received like a bit of a nerf, you could say, with some of its items. So I'm wondering how that's going to go with Gina locking this Irithel. It's going to be interesting. This is going to be my first time really seeing one of the marksmen recently that still run the traditional crit path, the holy, the Trinity for the crit. So it's going to be something to see, an old matchup and an old build here coming out from Endables.
Yes, and we're going to see the member swap coming in. Führer is swapped out for Tofu back into the jungle. So Emily is going to be sticking back to the roam position that we were seeing in the game number 1. So again, every star seems to align for Bloodhound for this one. They should be the ones who would need to get that win, because they've got the priority in the gold lane. They have a very solid mid lane. They've got a good answer for the Kufra as well. So maybe if you're not able to catch Retail or anyone else, but for now, they might probably actually end up catching him. Early flicker?
I mean, I don't think that's bad. I mean, you don't find the kill, but you do force a spell out there. So next time, right, that they catch out potentially Totenak, which shouldn't be hard. He is the roam, the position 5 is going to be looking to clear out space, open up rotations. They could absolutely catch him again, and without the flicker, it could be an easy kill. So finding that spell is a nice trade there.
Correct, and Tarzan has also used up the deadly cat, so it should be the best chance for Bloodhound to actually take the turtle up, as it's going to be up in the next 3 seconds. No more disengage tool, no more flicker, so no surprise Tyrant's Revenge on the Kufra. We've got the priority in the gold lane. Sleep's already hitting that level 4, being an aggressive against Gina. Wants to go in with the Nibiru's passion as well, so forcing Gina back. And we're seeing turtle being started by Endables, and Gustavo goes in for that dance. We're going to see the final flash coming in onto 3 people, and they are going to jump in with the deadly catch as well. But the zone out is absolutely impeccable. They force everyone back. They forced out those utilities, and they've still got a lot on the table. With the Fatal Link, with the Lasting Insanity. You might see
Emily.
Emily goes in, massive picks up the jungler who's caught in the chain. CC will be taken down, Lasting Insanity for the finish, and they will secure the turtle. Oh, but
great start.
Actually clears out Emily though, but so again, I believe something better than nothing to redeem yourself.
Try, it definitely is, and pretty even still. I mean, 1-1 on the board. First objective going to Bloodhounds. Gold lane, no one's really became too oppressive. It's looking very even, and honestly, that's a good sign in my opinion for Animals. But look at that kill off screen there from Gustavo underneath the tower, and he survived.
Such a low HP. Now, this is something you do not expect, but Tempest, again, on the alert, we know that he tends to play a little more aggressive in the early and, takes up a ton of damage. Had no minions to actually get that HP back, so a good punish coming in from Gustavo, to be honest, and Gustavo's getting a solid 2-0. So he's got the farm that he needs. Sleeps needs to be aware about that joy.
You know, honestly, right now, looking at this, I really wonder how this goes for Endables. I mean, right now, right, the composition's doing okay, but later on for the 5v5 team fights, which both of these compositions kind of have to gear up to, I really feel like BH is overwhelmingly in favor for it. They put the comfort for Beatrix in Sleep's hand. Emily's playing a nice setup. I think she has a great nose for sets. We've seen that on the pickoffs. I think we'll see that from the Atlas as well. A lot of neutralizing from Boca Roscoe. He can take any of these. I mean, he can even take the Deadly Catch here, right? Stack up with Emily. But speaking of stack up here,
They're gonna stack in towards that bottom side. Gina has already figured out where everyone else is. Tottenham using up the flicker to survive from that damage, but the lasting insanity from Tofu is gonna take him down. But is it a good trade? I do not think so, as he'll be traded right away. Gina finishes off the Xborg, and a jungler for a roamer. Endables are gonna take that trade any day, any time of the day.
it doesn't look like they're going to stop there with what they want to take. They're going to go ahead and start rushing up this turtle. No one to contest. There's not going to be any type of lashback from this, right, from the side of Bloodhound. So it's going to be free for them. Good pickup for Endables. Like you said, a trade they'll take any day of the week. But again, still extremely close between these teams. Neither one has made a clear advantage.
That is true. We're going to see the feathered airstrike being popped off to clear just the mid wave. Now, Heavier back in that stalemate kind of situation, but this time Gina again is dominating on that airfield. Now we get to see why it was being picked up so many times, but .NET was charging up the Tyrant's Revenge. It would have been possible to pick a couple of them off, Boca Roscoe as well as Emily. So, but again, playing it safe, not going in for that overextension. Now, you did mention that the later this game goes, Bloodhounds should have the better priority in terms of the draft in getting those pickoffs. Talking about pickoffs, Tofu seems to be the one taken down in the mid. Loses the Firaga armor, still survives. I just wanted to point out that even though, yes, there is a very good possibility of a chain CC combo from Bloodhounds, I think so Endables have enough resources to maneuver around that. You dodge the Fatal Links with the Purify, you dodge everyone else with the mobility that you have on the hands of Gina whenever Gina uses that ultimate, and you also have the damage. So I think so they should have priority, and we're going to see Gina popping off in that bottom side. Sleeps will be put down to sleep, back in bed, and that's a solo pickoff.
And right there, I guess we're seeing the old glory matchup of why the Irritable performed so well up against the Beatrix. We're not going to stop there.
They will probably be taking Emily down. Final shot. Where is the HP on Emily? But forget about HP. We're going to see Deadly Catch in the mid lane. Boca Roscoe seals it away. But a good sidestep coming in from Tarzan. You know, the urge to actually shout out that chant of Tarzan. I really don't want to do that and embarrass myself on stream, but yes, just so you know, there is the urge to say that.
Oh man, and speaking of things to say, Turtle spawning in here, Endables in control. And there's a Berserker's Fury that gets picked up by Gina just to confirm the whole crit idea here. That is what they're going to lock in. He already locked in the Windtalker, locked in the Berserkers. Needless to say, he also skipped out on the boots. Waiting for this to look like, so he's definitely going hard to find that 3-item spike.
Just deleted in an instant. See the last one coming in. Amazing play coming in from Tofu. He's already got the immortality, and Gustavo will also fall in that skirmish. So 1 for 2. Emily, even though was not able to land in the Fatal Links, kind of got everything else baited out and put their team in position to capitalize on that. So they played really well. And again, it's just as you mentioned, yes, Gina on that Berserker's Fury confirming the crit build. But here's the thing, right? Gina only built the Windtalker while Sleeps had the Blade of Despair. And in that 1v1 matchup, Gina out-damaged Sleeps. That's insane.
Well, hang on. Before we start to break things down, potential siege underway. It looks like, though, it may not happen, but keep an eye on Totenak.
Yes, we're going to see yet another engage coming in. Fatal Link being popped out to stop Totenak in his tracks. We're going to see the Deadly Catch jumping in. Tofu also wants to get something out of that, but everyone on the side of Endables will be A-OK, and a ton of resources being forced out. So a few ultimates that they will be back up soon, but in the meantime, Gustavo is going to make sure to push that top tier 1 in. Sleeps, you do not want to be taking that fight in. Trust me on that one. Gustavo will delete you. Is going 2-1-1. Got the damage. Also has the vengeance.
And, you know, hang on the bot side though, off screen.
We might see Gina finally being picked off. Yes, we're going to see the punish coming in. Good flicker from Emily to dodge that final bombardment from Kid. And Tofu is just going to zone the rest of them out. You know, there is no more for the Dare Strike available. Lasting Insanity coming in. Where's the Wings? Wings? Kid not available. He'll be deleted in an instant. And it's going to be followed up. Totnak being brought down so very low in HP. The support coming in from Boca.
Ice Queen won.
Deadly catch. And that is going to be Totnak finished off. But look at the top side. They do have a priority, but I don't think they can actually go in for the Lord contest at this point.
Absolutely not, especially with Bloodhounds taking down the members. And again, man, hang on.
Bravo! He falls in the fight, but takes down the most important target in the map, and that is going to be Sleeps. Now, this is the power of a joy that I was talking about.
It definitely is a strong part. Any marksman, right, that goes into, you know, it's very strong with the auto attacks, the joy with the vengeance. It's almost impossible to deal with, right? Especially because there is nothing on the side of BH that has suppression to even stop this joy from moving. Honestly, once he wants to start the party up, it doesn't stop until he says so.
And talking about party, we're going to see Boca Roscoe being caught in one. Will quickly flicker out of the dangerous situation. Fatal Link connecting on Tarzan. They're going to be brought back down from those trees, and it's going to be a win coming in for the side of Bloodhounds. They take one, none, and Valentina's going to join in the fight. Gina Salty seems to be in trouble, needs to find that gap. Does, but will be caught in the final slash. Looking at the Lord, it is being taken down by Tofu as extremely low, and Gina still survives somehow, takes down Templates.
Fight may not be over, last insanity.
Yeah, absolutely, and it's going to be taking Totnak down. I really thought that they should stop the engages now, but again, they wanted everything that they can get, and Totnak being a final pick in that fight will be finished off. Lord's going to march down from the bot, and they will work upon their siege.
And BH is doing exactly kind of what I was talking about, winning out in the 5v5s, especially since laning phase has been over. We're definitely in the heartthrob of the mid game and transitioning even further into the late game. Interestingly enough, I actually didn't think they were going to pick up this item, so now I'm glad they did get to talk about it a little bit. Gina with the Scarlet Phantom, one of the items that took a hit in the recent patch, took an overall nerf, and that's exactly why I said kind of the crit build for a lot of the marksmen that still build it. It's you know, a little bit weaker compared up to the new Trinity, right, from the Koro. So he builds it anyways, though. Very interesting to see him lock that in and considering the adjustments.
Ooh. Gustavo almost missing the dash on to Emily. Had it been connected, Sleeves would have been the one who would be in trouble. But again, yes, Scarlet Phantom getting that nerf in means the crit entirely is nerfed a little bit at least from that Trinity. So that is a very valid point and a very valid argument. And for now, we're going to see the engage probably going in. Emily just wants to look in for that opening. Even though Gina has the Purify, even though Kid has the Purify, the Fatal Links, it kind of forces you to reposition whatsoever. Yes, you would be able to take Emily down, but again, you would not be in a good position. For now, Sleeps is the one who will be chunking down so very low. Kid will be taking down the damage from Boca Roscoe. Uses the deadly catch as well to escape, and we're going to see Flicker coming in to dodge the dash of rhythm of Gustavo, who would be popping in that musical tune. And we're going to see Gina being... Gina. Everyone went in way too deep, will be finished.
Greedy.
Something out, gets the shutdown, gets the double kill, but will finally be traded back. It's a 3-for-2 trade, goes in favor of Bloodhounds. Such a messy fight.
So messy and so undisciplined, especially from Endables, man. Gina had no reason at all to be chasing down Emily just to try to pick up that kill, put himself in harm's way, and obviously met his fate as he got sent up to the caster's desk with us. You have to control yourself, right? Especially at this stage of the game, you're already kind of fighting uphill. You're losing out in the gold economy, losing out on the map. You don't have the opportunities to make those kind of plays, right? You don't have a lot to fall back on. At this point, those kind of mistakes can end the game for you rather quickly, and that's obviously what Bloodhounds is going to want to look to do here.
Right, and it did put Sleeves back up in that goal lead, even though by just a few hundred goal. But again, Gina was the one who was leading in the almost entirety of the game. Now it is Sleeves who's leading in the goal department, and Sleeves was the one who survived in the previous fight. So again, they're all in a very good position. Oh, I really love the flank that Gustavo might be coming in from. They might not have an idea. Sleeves should be taken down in this case. Dodging the rhythm first.
No. No. Absolutely not, but they're not done.
Of course they're not done. Tarzan still trying to survive somehow, would not be able to. We're gonna see the feathered airstrike popped in. Tofu dodging everything, also has the immortality. That was such a disgusting taunt coming in from Tofu. Just standing at the edge. More or less like, yeah, try and hit me. You would not be able to because that's the range. We will probably see them taking down the mid inhibitor as well. Totnak was charging up but did not follow up on that charge. So they're gonna still play disciplined, taking the inhibitor down. Bloodhound will now work on that farm.
Definitely working on farm, but most importantly, working on a potential game ender here, right? Picked up the Lord. Tarzan's gonna be spawning in a little slowly but surely. A wave just came in, right? It's gonna meet over into the neutral, have another one spawning in at the 10-second mark. Bloodhounds can slowly make this stagger in. They can make a crash all at once. They've already found the high ground tower in the mid before the Lord came down. So honestly, a very strong opportunity to end the game, especially given the tools that they have. You have the Fatal Links, you have the Last Insanity, you have the Final Slash. It's a lot of AoE to displace members, to burst out members. All you have to do is take out one, maybe two, and you have a great potential to end the game.
Gustavo wants to go in with that rhythm dance coming in. Israel picks up the first one. We're not seeing the Fatal Links yet connected to anyone, and this should be able to take the Lord down. Now, this is what I wanted to point out. That should be the strength of Bloodhounds, because you want with an Atlas that your opponents are together, they are clubbed up. And that is exactly what was the situation in hands. But nonetheless, it is Endables who actually came out on top in that trade. It's just because of the AoE damage that they have now and they've got the items. I wanted to point out that Gina picked up the Malefic Roar. So Gina should be able to now chunk down through that tanky front line and is respecting the damage coming in from Valentina, Booker Roscoe, and he will be making the Athena shield as well. But for now, talking about the pick-off, Tarzan seems to be the one in trouble, will be deleted. Godlike for Tofu. We're gonna see Fatal Links connecting, but that's just start time. Look at the back line.
Gustavo
is deleted in an instant, and Gina still standing strong, still fragging, still surviving. And Tofu is just gonna force the immortality from Totnak. Lasting Insanity is gonna be enough to finish him off. That is a 3-for-1 trade. You do not want to be in that position when you're Endables, because now their game seems to be on a position where it can be ended.
Absolutely here and right now. I don't think they'll even be able to survive for long. You should only be taking a shot or two. Both of these picks are glass cannons, but here comes the siege.
Oh, we're gonna see the feathered airstrike being popped off. Just a couple of more minions remaining. They are targeting the blaze. Sleep.
The wave.
What? They somehow defended Tofu with the lasting insanity. Gina surviving on the slither of the HP. Booker Roscoe picking up the Winter Truncheon right away to just buy some extra time if in case caught in a bad position. Gustavo goes in for that.
Gustavo
sleeps out. They will be able to do so. Gina steals it away though, but nonetheless, it was a pick that they needed, and holy smoke, they are coming alive.
You know, honestly, with a lot to unpack the moment, I think it was just a bit of, wrong place, wrong time. They definitely were poised to be able to end that match, but the minion wave spawned in right at that 40-second mark with additional members spawning in. Bloodhounds wasn't able to end it, but now, a siege potentially, they're going to look to pick up the Lord here.
And how is Tofu actually taking damage from 4 people and still got the Firaga armor up? That is outrageous at this point. They should not be allowed to do that. I believe it is the combination of the Bloodlust Axe as well as the War Axe possibly on the hands of Tofu. I believe he went in for the Ice Queen wand though.
He did.
It's not even a War Axe. Ice Queen wand. Just
speaking of though, I feel like he was in good range and had good enough armor to maybe contend. Do you think maybe he could have went for that Last Insanity to go for like a solo steal attempt on that? I feel like he should be able to win out against Tarzan there for that retribution, but I don't know. Maybe I may be a little overly optimistic, but speaking of optimism,
Oh no, Gina is the one who is pushing back Bukharosco, but you can see the pick off coming in. Emily has been taken down, deleted. Gustavo jumping into that backline, knows that there's the presence of an Athena shield on sleeve, so he's not going to over engage with the Lord. Will be taken down, it will be chunked down, but here is where the trouble begins. The minion waves are gonna barge in from every corner. They've secured the bottom. Now is the time for mid tier 2 to be defended. Totnak charging up. This could be the play of the game if in case he gets a hit, but nope. They're gonna respect it. The wave clear is just too good from Bloodhounds at this point. You've got the Tofu on Xborg. You've also got Sleeps on the Beatrix, Valentina. Everyone can chunk those minions out. Now, back to the question that you asked. It could have been possible that Tofu might have been able to go in for that cheeky steal, but probably just knew that the defense would be enough to actually take the Lord down, so might as well just play with the numbers, as you've already lost Emily, and you do not want to be putting your team down in a 3v5 scenario. So I believe he just went in for a safer play.
You know, maybe that's why I'm just a casual, not a pro player. I really feel like, I don't know, maybe it was ballsy, but I feel like at that point, this stage in the game, you know, sometimes you got to be that guy. You got to make the star play, but look at Emily looking to make a play.
Yes, that's going to be the star play coming in, but we're going to see Totnak in towards that backline, trying to disrupt the farm. Gustavo doing the exact same thing. They will be trying to chunk down the Xbox, but he's got the immortality popped up. Tofu's going to retreat. Piragama again taken down. We're going to see the Bennett's Rage being dropped in just for the disengage, and still Tofu survives. No wonder they banned out the Xbox in game number 1. Do not give Xbox to this guy.
I mean, it seems don't give X-Board to Bloodhounds at all, because it feels like they'll give it to anybody inside of this roster. Honestly, I'm surprised we haven't seen anyone else from the side of Bloodhounds flicks over to the X-Board pick. But yeah, it's definitely like a winning recipe for them, I want to say. It's kind of like a go-to, it's a default. If you didn't ban it out, you know it's coming. Speaking of things coming,
we're gonna see Atlas popping, and Totnak seems to be in a pretty awkward position though.
Emily!
A great pick by Emily, gets 2 people, probably 3, and it's gonna be a legendary from Tofu. The falling like Skittles, one after the other. Gustavo wants to take the trade, wants to take someone out, but has to respect the damage, has to retreat, but look at Sleeps. He wants to take that trade, but somehow Tarzan redeems his team, actually manages to take Emily down, so no more engage tool coming in for Bloodhounds. They need to stick for that Lord.
Somehow Gustavo was able to survive thanks to the immortality. The good thing though for Endables, they have top lane wave priority. It's going to crash into that tower. No one's there to respond to Bloodhounds. If they don't win this Lord, it's going to be a very super negative to them right now, but they've already forced out the deadly catch from Tarzan. He's being chased around right now.
True, and even the feathered airstrike. We're gonna see the retreat being won by Tofu, and they should be able to take Gustavo down. What? He takes out Sleeps. He takes out Boca Roscoe, getting both the damage dealers out of the way, giving a lifeline to his own team, possibly a chance to actually end the game. No more wave clear.
You know, this is honestly just ridiculous what we just saw there unfold. But honestly, Gustavo able to make a little bit of a bright light in otherwise a grim dark situation. They lost the Lord, and honestly that really came courtesy of the Arlot pick that we were talking about. Bloodhounds in these late stages of the hang on, a fight might be unfolding here. Scared.
Tarzan seems to be the one taking that damage. Winter Truncheon comes in, but look at the backline. We're going to see everyone being chunked down to solo HP Rhythm alongside the Winter Truncheon, dodging the tower damage, jiggling it perfectly, and they're going to take the tier 2 alongside the Lord. So I would really say it's very lucky for Bloodhounds to survive through that kind of burst. They played it really well to probably utmost perfection to survive that situation, and just giving up on the tier 2. I feel like they kind of saved their game at this point. And since we're jumping into the 23rd minute mark, probably, it's going to be anyone's game. It totally depends on who outplay who's. Now, we're seeing a Queen's Wings being made on Gustavo. I don't exactly know how well that works, but seeing the way he's playing on the Joy, I think so it works pretty well.
You know, honestly, at this point, and I was going to be something I was going to bring up earlier, but he's, like you said, he's been performing decently okay. I would have expected him to swap the build a bit. I'm surprised a lot of the Joys are still building the full damage. Speaking of Joys, look at where he's positioned currently. Gustavo all by himself on the map there, behind enemy line, literally. Going to clear out the way, but no one's gone yet. He's about to jump into the bush.
Oh, he will be able to run away, at least for now. That could have
that
been
was risky.
Go and disengage. Yeah, That was a good escape coming in from Gustavo. Then this is the thing that Joy brings on the table. You've got the anti-CC, but talking about
Gina
on the table. See Gina in trouble.
Emily!
Away, another great setup coming in, combined with a feather air strike. This time coming in from Endables. They're trying to
Gustavo!
Gustavo jumps into the backline. He could make a play of his lifetime, but respects the damage. But not enough as Tofu gets in, gets the legendary. Totnak wants to get the punish in, but no support whatsoever. Everyone's just pretty far away. Now I want to bring up the point that you mentioned, and that is of the build. Gustavo going in for the entire damage build. Yes, you will be bursting down the backline, but you would not be able to survive long enough to do so. I really also feel that he should probably swap maybe a Holy Crystal for another defense item. Maybe put in a blade armor just to survive, or at least deal back some more damage back to Sleeps, because he would be on that Nibiru fashion though. So I think we should be able to do that. One of Sleeps is literally
oh no.
He finished off. No, he's not surviving that. Immortality popped up. He is taking
GG. GG. That's a lord. That's a lord. But hang on. Endables taking mid lane prio here. Potentially cleared out the wave. Tarzan's looking to go push the tower, but he's going to be running into Templars there. But now it's being worked on by BH. No one's contesting. They know Tarzan's nowhere near this. This is a free lord, Endables.
They cannot contest it whatsoever. Even Gustavo is not there to provide an opening to them. And Totnak, their engage tool, has been taken out in the previous skirmish. Now, again, we did see this Kufra working out so very well in game number 2, and this time it's been shut down quickly. It just seems that Tofu on the Xbox is just on another level. He's playing so very well, positioning himself perfectly, knows when to be the bait, knows when to go in for that last burst. And Emily with those setups, even though there's a couple of Purify on your opponent.
I mean, honestly, it just goes well. Bloodhounds and Xborg is like peanut butter and jelly. It's like you and me, it literally picks grass.
Absolutely, we're going to see the flicker, Fatal Link coming in, but Gina seems to be in trouble, taken down pretty low, but they're actually targeting the base. It's already down to half HP. Lord is still pretty
Immortality!
Heavy. So much! Immortality!
To the fence!
But look at the HP on each and every one. Tarzan so very low, and how does Tofu have that much of the Firaga armor? Make 5 dominant sides at this point.
And you know what's scary? Yes, it's crazy. The only thing endable here is the name, but the game, Bloodhounds is struggling. 26-minute mark. Neither team wants to give an inch, and neither one has been able to take the final mile here. I'm honestly wondering, how does this end? I will say, though, looking at things clearly here, again, I really feel like Endables needs to make a bit of adjustment to Gustavo. He picks up the Winter Trunks. Just pick up a defensive item, brother. What are we doing? Just take some defense, get the blade armor, maybe a Dom Ice. Honestly, I feel like he really doesn't need a damage, especially Totnak has been struggling on the Cooper right now. They need some extra bit of frontline capability as someone to be able to sustain here. But speaking of sustain, a bit of pain coming in.
Absolutely, Bokarosov in a pretty awkward position. Legendary coming
Tofu!
What killing spree? That's gonna be a double! That's Gustavo taking out Bokarosov. He will be picked off, and this time the priority is in the hands of Endables. They should be
Vengeance!
down, but look at damage! Sleep! Oh, please!
Blade armor!
Wise and will retreat back to the safety. That survivability was what Bloodhounds needed. They will be able to pull the defense in if in case Endables decide to push it. But again, it's just as you mentioned, Gustavo needs to pick up a defensive item. He needs either a blade armor or a dominant size. Now, again, the reason why Tofu is playing the way he is, and having so much freedom, getting so much regen back, is because of the fact that there's only one anti-regen item, and that is in the hands of Totnak. Now, he is not tanky enough to survive through all of that burst. They need some more anti-heal, maybe in the hands of Tarzan, maybe in the hands of Gustavo, but they need that constant anti-heal to be applied on Tofu, on Sleeps, on even Boca Roscoe at this point. And that is where they're not able to finish things off. And that's where Bloodhounds are actually getting in their sustain.
Man, even Sleeps has a defensive item. I mean, take some notes here. If he just had the blade armor, he would have had the kill. Bro, you have the Vengeance, but he doesn't have enough sustainability. He's dying before Vengeance is even done. Like, he's not even getting the full usage of Vengeance. But speaking of usage, Concealplay coming in, Emily, what can she do?
The zone out is only thing that they actually need to do at this point. Making sure that Tarzan is nowhere near the Lord. They should be able to take it down with Federation coming in. They want to go in for the full engage. And
Emily!
10 for a couple, man. Fatal Links coming from Gustavo in the backside. Wants to take both of them now. Should be able to take Sleeps out of the picture. And no! What? Sleeps still survived. Gustavo finished off. Winter Truncheon acting against him. And we're going to see Tarzan finished off. No way he's going to survive that. And this should be the final nail in the coffin. Yes, no more Emily. But there's no Tarzan.
Wait!
They actually want to go in for more. That's a very good Winter Truncheon used in from Tempest. Was that a Winter Truncheon? I think so it was, and they are still surviving.
Boca has the Farsa.
Police roll, that's going to be Boca on the Feather Airstrike, zoning all of them away. Immortality popped up for Sleep, still surviving. They want to go in for the Crystal Legendary coming in for Tofu yet again. And this is the final nail in the coffin that we were talking about. Bloodhounds getting the game number 3, second for their own victory. And boy, oh boy, one lengthy game that was.
Come on, man. One game away right now. 2-1 Bloodhounds. What'd I say? All right. Well, actually, it didn't even go to Sleep. This time it was completely Tofu, man. X-Board, Bloodhounds, X-Board, PB and J, Scared Yet, Coach Deku. 3 wonderful combinations, baby. It's a trifecta of blessings right in between Bloodhounds and Endables. Jeez.
That's really my reaction at this point. 36% damage with, hey, bring back my camera. Hey, yo.
Get up here, Scared.
Okay. And I am back again. And 36% damage, 126,000 damage on an Xbox. He was present everywhere in every fight, every single engage, every objective. You talk about it, you see the map, you are seeing Tofu there. What a play. And again, Emily. Even though there were a couple of purifiers, there's Gustavo who's got CC immunity. You still managed to land in the Fatal Links on 2 or 3 people? That is outrageous.
Yeah, man. I mean, Purify breaks the CC, but you can't break away from good gaming. Bloodhounds bringing the total package to take down Endables. It took them a while to go ahead and chunk down the mountain that is Endables, but they get it done there.
Appreciate that, Scared Yet. Man, insane game. That was almost 30 minutes back and forth. Fireworks exploding from both sides of the Land of Dawn, from the red all the way to the blue. I was at the edge of my seats, and I know you guys were too out there in the audience, and that is going to put Bloodhounds in a position for a match point. If they claim victorious for one more game, they will move on to the grand finals. How will Endables turn this around? Can they get the reverse sweep? Because that's what it's going to have to pretty much be. They need to win 2 games in a row to be able to claim this semifinals. Guys, don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with you for the next match.
I've been mortified, fortified, feeling like a Mordecai. I ain't regular, feel like Jordan wearing 45. Traumatized, victimized, seen some of die. Knock you off a base with a bat when them slide. Homicide, genocide, televised, emphasize, perpetuating war. Tell that nigga he gon' pick a side. Hood ties from hood lines, now nigga doing dope lines. Don't run into the cops, that's a exercise. Don't run into the cops, that's the motto. I don't see it coming to an end like legato. Get chipped like staccato, send a wave through the hood, now it's sounding like vibrato. Why you eat bread with avocado? We be trying to dodge shells before it landing our tomato. Singing all my sorrows on Apollo. I've been trying to pave the way, but they didn't tell me it was potholes. America ain't dreaming, it been scheming when the birth of a nation came from black. We all know it's black. Genius, everybody love the culture, they be black by convenience.
Hold on, my killer. You talking way too much conscience. Speak about some girls or some money or some diamonds or something. I'm not telling you to rap, not to rap how you rap, but make something we can vibe to.
Sounding like a real anthem. Shawty saw my wallet, now she think I answer. Whoa, telling me she wanted me to hammer. Trying to get saved, baby, I am not the answer. No, I can never trick. Unless the bitch is my bitch with a kiss on my lips like, I am not a pimp with a limp, I'm a man with a gift, and I'm doing my shit like, tell them other niggas I'm the nip. I'm the man in the city, and my bank account bigger, and my body count bigger, that's without a doubt. I'm 100 steps ahead, that's a lot of mouth, that's a lot of clout. What you all about? What your dollar amount? You a boy scout, yeah, I'm a big dog. Tell the truth, I don't get y'all this shit. Sound corny, motherfucker, turn this shit off, bro. I can't rap how everybody else rap, bro. Everybody talking about hoe, cars, clothes, chains, and money. That shit corny as fuck, bro. God, I don't want to rap about that corny ass shit.
Like, ride with me if you ride with me, you can slide with me if you feel like 550 on the 5 sticky, come get high with me, that's a deal, right? Ride with me if you ride with me, you can slide with me if you feel like 550 on the 5 sticky, come get high with me, that's a deal, right? That's a deal, right? That's a bet, right? That's a bet, right? That's a deal, right? That's a deal, right? That's a bet, right? That's a deal, right? That's a deal, right? That's a bet, right? That's a deal, right? That's a deal, right? Ayy, coming down like precipitation. I ain't never met a limitation. Hate plotting my elimination. Gotta go to Google for the information. I'm a superstar, so I gotta shine. Top dollar be the bottom line. Bottom feeding niggas out of line. Turn your heart rate to a dotted line. Yeah, my zodiac probably dollar sign. Got the energy to win it, my nigga, I'm feeling great. Got a date with destiny, focusing on my fate. I don't give a fuck what you rapping, you been a fake. I'm everything that they ain't, it can't be, it won't be. Wanna see me fall, I can't go, I won't leave. Coming from the block with plain clothes and police. Straight up to the top with bankrolls and rollies. Ride with me if you ride with me, you can slide with me if you feel like 550 on the 5 sticky, come get high with me, that's a deal, right? Ride with me if you ride with me, you can slide with me if you feel like 550 on the 5 sticky, come get high with me, that's a deal, right? That's a deal, right? That's a bet, right? That's a bet, right? That's a deal, right? That's a deal, right? That's a bet, right? That's a deal, right? That's a deal, right? That's a bet, right? That's a deal, right? That's a deal, right? Ayy, 12 can't really stop shit, so I'm still pushing like a mosh pit. Ice dripping, think I'm hot shit. In a yellow bucket with the mop stick. I've been jugging jams like wholesale. Everything must go sell. Hitting bitches with the oh well. Need 100 milli on the low scale. On my worst night, I'm the best nigga. Wouldn't mess with you, couldn't cap to him. Homie spotted me like 700, brought 1100 right back to him. If I can't do it, then it ain't real. I just make dollars, I don't make deals. I've been going hard in the paint, still blowing kush clouds till I can't feel like. Ride with me if you ride with me, you can slide with me if you feel like 550 on the 5 sticky, come get high with me, that's a deal, right? Ride with me if you ride with me, you can slide with me if you feel like 550 on the 5 sticky, come get high with me, that's a deal, right? That's a deal, right? That's a bet, right? That's a bet, right? That's a deal, right? That's a deal, right? That's a bet, right? That's a deal, right? That's a deal, right? That's a bet, right? That's a deal, right? That's a deal, right? Got 5 on it.
I can do this with my eyes closed. It's too easy. It's too easy. I can do this with my eyes closed. It's too easy. Too easy.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Mobile Legends Scrim Academy Cyberpunk Tournament semifinals, day 1. Right now, we're having our first 2 teams going head-to-head in the top 4 to claim a spot in the grand finals. We're looking at a best of 5 between Bloodhounds and Endables, and currently just completed game 3. That's right, the score is currently 2-1. Bloodhounds in favor, forcing Endables into a position for match point, meaning if Bloodhounds claims this next game, they will move on to the grand finals, the top 2 for the Cyberpunk Tournament for the Mobile Legends Scrim Academy. How will Endables turn this around? Can they drag this out to a game 5, or will they be sent home from the Bloodhounds led by Boca Roscoe? Now, we also have switched up the casters a little bit. That's right, Yue and Deku have fused and they created a rim. Who would have thought that could have happened? But we're gonna go ahead and jump over there. Let's swing on over to the caster's desk. And there we go. We got Scared Yet likes to pop in. He's a little shy sometimes, so there you go. There you go. How you guys doing, man? Insane gameplay. That was almost a 30-minute game. You sure you're good to go, Scared Yet?
Absolutely, I'm still energetic, and I'm even more energetic at this point because seeing that kind of a game, it kind of excites me to see what they are going to bring on the table for the next 2 games possibly, because this is a do or die situation for Endables. And hello Ren, welcome to the deck.
Thank you. You know, I'm shocked that you said you were excited for this one because I thought you were trying to run for your life. You know, you warped out and then you popped in, you know, so it just goes to show. And speaking of popping in, I'm up here now and I'm excited to see how this goes. I've been watching from the sidelines, but now I'm ready to get into it.
Well, let's not waste any more time. Let's go ahead and jump into Game 4, Endables up against Bloodhounds.
The equilibrium which I was made for.
Right, so Eve is going to be the first ban coming in from Bloodhounds. This time they're back onto that blue side. Now we're seeing Bloodhounds, last time they were on the blue side, they actually lost the game. They even had the Novaria being picked up. And again, I really love the fact that Franco is still being banned out from the side of Endables. So they're making sure to stick with that ban coming in. And again, I'm probably guessing that this could be a Lancelot as well as a Faramis. No?
The respects ban. Which is smart, you know. The X-Borg, I think he gave, I think it was Tofu there, a really hard time when it comes to, oh no, Totnak actually. He gave him a really hard time with those engages, right? When he picked up that ice cream wand on him, the true damage was basically being abused at that point, right? He couldn't escape. We saw that one clash in the top lane. They baited out the flicker from him. Then he tried to use, you know, his first skill there to jump out, but then the final slash said, hey, hi, how are you? Nice to meet you. Sent him right back to the team. Immortality popped, and he was just popped as well, you know? So I feel like it's a good respect ban coming in from the side of Endables. And what you really want to do in these series, especially when your back is against the wall, you want to ban out things that give you a hard time. So whether it's you can let the meta true, but you could deal with the meta, but you've seen things on paper, you've experienced how it feels to be on the receiving end, and having an answer for it, I would always agree with.
Absolutely. And speaking of answers, we're going to see Bloodhounds banning away the joy this time. So a ton of utilities still up for grabs. They've got the alert. They've also got the Novaria left open. So Endables have to pick their poison at this point. They have to either ban away the Novaria, that leaves Valentina to be banned for Bloodhounds. And they're going to leave everything open. You know what? Let's just leave everything so that they take one, we take two. Novaria picked up by Bokorosco right away.
I mean, hey, this is potentially going to be the final game of the series, so they might as well say, okay, let's give them a little bit of a chance here, you know, a glimmer of hope, a shimmer of light. But they're going to go ahead and prioritize the Novaria pick. Maybe this would kind of bump up her statistics there. She did take a little bit of a hit when she got that first loss, and I heard y'all talking about it, I think in the very first game of the series. So maybe they're going to rewrite some history here, but history is going to repeat itself in that EXP lane, as the Arlot is going to be prioritized for one of the first 2 picks for the side of Endables, and I like it so far, right? It's a very safe pick. It's also a strong pick up in that EXP lane. It can go up against whatever you can throw at it, and he's also good at throwing you towards his team as well. But speaking of team-oriented picks, the Faram is going to be the second prioritized.
Absolutely. The first time he's left open in the draft and he's been picked up right away. Now, I really love the way Endless is drafting in this point. They've taken away the alert, so we're finally going to see Dauntless on something other than the alert, unlike the previous 3 games that we've witnessed till now. So I really love the way that they are kind of forcing Dauntless on something other than the alert in that EXP pool. Kind of want to try and, you know, abuse the fact that they might be able to get the upper hand in that EXP lane and force out an early game snowball from that specific side. So, but we'll have to wait and see what is going to be answered from Bloodhounds. I really feel like they can pick up the Beatrix again. Well, not for them in the previous game. They're going to lock it right away. Carry still left open though, and we also have the Frederick, who might be picked up from the side of Endless, if in case not from Bloodhounds.
Now, I do like the picks. I feel like the Bane, he is kind of a 50-50 situation in terms of that jungle position. Yes, he has, you know, fast wave clear, but his push potential when being paired up, with the Beatrix, I do think they do have good tower pressure coming in there, right? I do think he does deal a lot of damage with the deadly catch, 2 neutral objectives, so it could be beneficial to potentially close out a game or close out, you know, a tower siege. So I do think it's safe, but there is still some strong, things that can go up against it, right? The veteran, he has been let through that could potentially walk. These teams are known for running some stuff and even bringing familiar faces back. We might see something like the Akai being pulled out here, but no, you mentioned the carry to be paired up against the Beatrix, and they're going to go ahead and lock it in, and I like it. It offers them some of that late game, and if the side of Bloodhounds, whatever they decide to go for that front line, they already have an answer for that. So I do think the carry pick is going to be a safe one for that gold lane matchup.
Yes, I would also agree to the same thing and say the same, that carry as of now I feel more or less is like a safe pick rather than being a counter pick in this situation, which maybe they could have gone with. I personally feel that maybe a 1-1 would have also worked out pretty well up against the Beatrix. Yes, it's probably going to be a stalemate, but you have the Crossover of Tank who actually just fly into the air, and if enemies are actually low HP, you would be able to pop it off onto other people. It's going to shift to all of them once they fall one after the other. But again, they're going to stick to the basics, picking up the carry, banning away the Kaja, not going to allow any kind of comfort for Emily. Probably going to force an Atlas ban this time, because it did work out in the previous game. So maybe, do not let Emily get her hands on that Atlas.
Absolutely right. Plus, Bloodhounds, they ban out the Croc themselves. So that is, again, another counter pick. And we've been seeing them trying to limit the capabilities of what Emily can potentially go for here. But no, they're going to go ahead and ban out the Mlsa. So I think that is another wrong position potentially for Emily there, because she does like some of those sets, but it could also go into that EXP lane to pair up against the Arlot, which is smart, right? Especially since he's one of those heroes with the dashes. You really don't want that King's Calling to just drop down, and not only does it have a strong impact in the 1v1 situation, but when we start talking team fights, he'll really be popping off too as well. So I do think it's a very strong ban. But in response, Bloodhound is going to go ahead and ban out the Kufra. And I will mention it's a very, very smart ban coming out from them, because I feel like the only thing that he really had going against him was that export pick for the side of Bloodhounds. If you removed export from that equation, which Endables has, he would have been a strong option. But right now, they're hovering over some times here.
Lowlies, Minotaur, either one of them would work. They might as well just end up at an Atlas maybe. Again, let's leave everything.
Looking for that team fight.
Yes, but again, that's one thing is clear for them, that they will be looking in for those multi-people setup, for those team fights, engages, and yes, Mlsa are being banned out. So I honestly was pretty surprised at that, because we haven't seen Mlsa being picked up from the side of Bloodhounds coming in, and there were a few more tools available in that EXP lane, and Lapu Lapu was something that I was about to bring up, that we saw in the game number 1, Lapu Lapu was in the hands of Gustavo, was winning against Dauntless in that EXP lane matchup. So maybe we might see the same thing, but this time Dauntless would be the one who might win in the early game matchup against the Arlot in the EXP lane. So that might have been a little better ban again, but it's just as you mentioned, Mlsa, King's Calling, blocks all the dashes. You've got Minotaur with the dash, carry with those dashes, Arlot based on a dash, so banning it away, going up with a pretty safe pick, and we're gonna finally see the Chow coming in. Me and Deku have been guessing from game 1 that we might possibly see a Chow, and never mind, I might have cursed it.
The caster curse, it applies even in the draft, right? And speaking of draft, both has been completed, and I like that they actually went for this Lolita instead of the Chow, because I feel like going up against the Chow against a team fight oriented composition, sweetie, who are you gonna pick off? We're all gonna be sticking together, stronger together. There's no iron team, I'm not gonna be alone. So I do like that they went for the Lolita with the Aluminum Blast, a little bit more AoE to pair up, and especially going up with the Novaria, right? With the Astral Echo, additional utility as well. But speaking of additional things, we're gonna be heading into the
Definitely, and Tarzan on that lane, finally a hero with the same mobility as the name of the person. Again, I made that similar kind of joke when they was also here. And that it's an urge to chant out that, Tarzan. We're gonna talk about that later, guys. It's going to be a match point in favor of Bloodhounds. 2-1. We're jumping in the game number 4. It's a do or die for Endables. Let's see if their journey continues and force a game number 5. Or will Bloodhounds finish things off in style?
No, I really like that they went for a team fight oriented composition, because looking at what they have going against it for them, if Bloodhounds takes this game, that's it. That's going to be the end of Endables' journey in the Cyberpunk Tournament here. And I feel like they really need that teamwork to stick in the game, and I'm hoping that their draft can kind of reflect what we're going to see coming into this 4th game of this best of 5 series. And I really think that once they play their cards right, they can really scale and carry us to a full series here, right? And some of their win conditions right now, they have to play for that level 4. I think in terms of team fights, they do have a stronger composition. The Minotaur, who can counter out Emily there with the Aluminum Blast. Then they have the Lane, who can apply some pressure into that backline, contest objectives. So they do have a lot of winning factors. But here, we're seeing a lot of poke being exchanged for the side of Endables, but Lane going to be taken quite low in that situation.
Yes, but again, Tarzan on that lane is going to be a-okay. He's got a ton of mobility to work with. We're seeing a change coming in. Sir Rose this time playing in the mid lane for the side of Endables. So let's see how well that change actually works out for them. And again, looking at the current situation, go lane, it's more or less like a stalemate. Sleeves should be winning on that trade-off, but we're seeing it being dead even at this point. Now, again, I want to talk about the Lolita a little bit. We're going to bring things back to the Lolita a little later. Sleeps denies the cannon to Gina. Okay, that's a very good microplay coming in.
Overlay.
Evelyn, Tarzan jumps in when Willie with the stun and Emily, the shield popped in. Flicker being used, but Tarzan's going to be able to take Sleeps down. And you deny 1 minion, I'm going to take a couple of your cannon minions away from you.
I mean, you deny me 1 minion, but I'm also going to take your life, and that's a good setup. But speaking of setups here, the turtle.
Absolutely, it's extremely low in the HP. Back to the turtle, saves his own life while the Minion Fury comes in from Totnak for the disengage. Now again, bringing things back to the Lolita pick. You're up against a Faramis. You know that they would want to be together. It's more or less like an Ube composition, right? How do you counter an Ube? You get a roamer who can get those setups in, and the more people around him, the better it would be. Like an Atlas, a Kufra, and in this case, a Lolita. Excellent pick coming in, and we're going to see probably a pick off on Totnak. He is quite low in the HP, does not have the Million Furious, should be taken down, has the flicker available, but again, we're going to see the Cult Altar being popped in. But look at the backline, Bokarosco, he should be finished off. That's a lot of resources being used up to take him down. So he's gonna survive that for the side of Bloodhound probably, but again they want to go in for the chase. They're the ones who are winning in that trade-off. Tempest, low in HP, will retreat back, but again we might possibly see a steal from Tarzan. Nope, plays it safe, decides not worth his time.
And that's smart, right? We did see Rose trying to be a little bit of an annoyance there, dodging that meteor coming in from this Novaria here. And I do like what Endables has going for them. And one of the priorities with running this assassin jungler is something that kind of made its way back. And we can see its potential again because of the changes made to the emblems. We're seeing some of these damaged junglers shining again. And when you're playing something like the Novaria, you're going to stay in the back line, right? And half of the time, your team, especially with a tank like the Lolita, they're going to be up in the front line, and that's just the perfect opportunity for Tarzan to focus you. You're all behind the enemy lines, you're behind your team's lines, and he can get to you easily, right? But speaking of being able to get to you easily, Gina here being poked down a lot there in the spot side, but Link's blue buff.
Yes, it should be secured easily by Tarzan without any major problems. We're going to see some of that gold being chunked down on the hands of Sleep. Now, we've seen the Beatrix being popping off. Talking about popping off, we're going to see the Totnak on that Minoan Fury. He did also use his flicker up. So, again, they were not able to get that pick off. But again, speaking of Beatrix, we've seen whichever team has picked up the Beatrix has won the game till now. One Endables, second one Bloodhound. So Sleeps should be able to pop off on this hero. But for now, we're going to see the top side enemies coming in. Tempest should be taken down in this case. But again, we're going to see a 2v2 fight. Oh my goodness, that damage on the deadly catch. Tofu. He does not want to go in for a tanky Vayne, he wants to go for a damage Vayne, and that is a perfect way to actually counter the Link. You don't want to go for the sustain, you want to go for that instant burst that if in case Ling is caught in that, he would be deleted.
Absolutely right, and not only for the lane, the damage pressure, but speaking of damage and pressure here, down in the bot side, Gina is going to be able to take sleeps off of the board again. And right now, this is what they need to do. They have to continuously shut down this gold lane, but something that they struggled with before is, yes, they're getting some of these kills, but they have to focus on some of these objectives. I'm switching focus to objectives here, Scared.
We're gonna see engage from both the teams. Totnak has the Minoan Furies holding on to that templates. Gonna go in with the bravest warriors. Can in the meantime takes down turret on the bottom side. We're gonna see the slashes coming in. Everyone just standing in a place. That's the best value that you can find on the hands of a Lapu templates with the perfect bravest fighters and a land shaker. Get them all in line and just dishes out that damage. Yes, their turret has fallen, but they will be quickly trading it for that top tier one.
Absolutely, and that's a good trade, right? But down in the bot side as well, Gina was able to find that tower, so it's going to find a little bit of a response to keep them in this game. Looking at the gold lead right now, it's just only about 1k in favor of Bloodhounds, so it's not over for Endables just yet. But the pressure coming in from the EXP lane for this out of Bloodhounds right now. And if we look at some of these items here, Beatrix already securing that Blade of Despair, so she's going to be scaling quite well. But in the mid lane,
yep, again, Tempest is restless at this point. He wants to go and engage everywhere around the map. Already taken down the tier 1 on the top side. Wants to deal some damage. Final slash coming in. Actual echo in their position, and what a plan from Tofu. Takes one of them down, forces out the cult altar. It's gonna be shut down instantly. Totnak is sprawling to go survive that. Nope, finished off right away. But I love the way Endables are actually playing. They're not focusing on those team fights. They know they do not have the farm. They are behind in that. Not a lot though, just a few hundred gold, but even after that they would not be able to take those full-fledged team fights. So they are focusing on those side lanes. They're trying to take that pressure off from the mid towards those sides, and this is the strength of the link. Even if you're not able to pick the Animorph in that early and mid game, you have enough mobility to go on towards that side and chunk down those towers if they're not focused on. And talking about focus on, this tower is the one who is being taken down for. Final slash coming in, not gonna provide him enough sustain. With those dashes, he will be taken down. Totnak is just going to retreat back to safety, or maybe not. Wants to jump in. That's a good pull coming in onto Tofu. Will be taken down pretty low and will be shut down in that chain CC. Endables getting a good pick off out of the blue.
And speaking of pickups here, down in the bot side, we're seeing Sleeps having to use that flicker to escape the Tempest of Blades, and it would have almost been what Tarzan needed to kind of get back into this game here, right? But looking in the mid side here, another engage happening here.
Ooh, a few flickers being used up. Both the teams are heating up perfectly right now. And plus, gonna survive that. That was a good final slash coming in from Gustavo though. But again, everyone's gonna be A-okay in that fight. In terms of objectives, Bloodhounds are winning in that. But in terms of gold, it's just a couple of 100 gold lead. And I feel that the scaling on the side of both of these teams is actually pretty solid. You've got the Novaria, who would be taking at least 50% of your HP down with those late game hits coming in from those Astral Spears. There's also the Faramis, who would literally be dealing a ton of damage you do not expect to come out from him. And also has a cult altar for the utility. Now it is going to come down on the timing of that cult altar and how well Bloodhounds are actually able to force it out. Talking about force it out, we're going to see engage of Sir Rose. Cult altar forced out early. We're going to see the Minoan Fury used up, and that is going to be a good pick off on Sleeves. They've already taken down one of them, but again, Tofu still standing, still fragging, taking all of them down one after the other. And Revelation is there. It's going to reveal the position of 3 of them, but Tempest is going to be finished off right away. They've not been able to take anyone apart from Sir Rose, who's literally spawned back in. The strength of a Falcon. They want to go ahead, but oh, double! You pull a double in that situation. The shutdown coming in from Gina. They should give them a priority at Lord. But he almost got a Maniac. Almost.
Man, but he was a maniac, right? With those plays being made, he didn't officially get one, but that play was definitely reflective of one. And speaking of things to reflect on here, if we look at some of these items, the goal lead is very stable and it's now shift in favor of Endables. So let's take a look at what they have going for them right now, right? So Rose being able to pick up that lightning truncheon plus the clock of destiny combo, going to secure some more bursts there. But we're also seeing a lot more damage items being picked up from this Ling as well, right? He already does have that Berserker's Fury. But if we look at Minnow, he does have the dominance eyes to reduce some of that sustain. But speaking of sustain in the top side,
So we're probably seeing Sleeves falling again back to sleep, but no, he's gonna survive for now. Gustavo is gonna go in for that tanky approach. Talking about tanky, we'll see Minotaur getting that setup in. Can he fix off Lapu Lapu? And that's one taken down already. Tofu's not gonna survive that. As flicker forward by Gina to take him down. Oh, this might actually be a possibility to end the game because they do not have the wave clear. And Lord is extremely healthy. Sir forcing Bogo Roscoe back, and that is going to be a pull coming in. But again, Bogo surviving. They want to target the crystal. Lord will be taken down, and respect is being shown. They are backing off. Wants to take other structures around the map.
and that's a smart choice, right? And you saw the damage already coming in from Bocarasco there on this Novaria, kind of reflective of what we saw when he was on this pick before, right? She can kind of harass. And I actually do think that they have strong wave clear. And not only do they have strong wave clear, they also do have some pressure for them, right? But speaking of pressure, in terms of these team fights and win conditions for the side of Bloodhounds, the Gem having this Novaria on their side, yes, Endables has the Faramis, but I feel like they did good at compensating, right? Because we do know, yes, Novaria has damage, but she lacks out on some of the burst potential. But we're looking at Tofu. He opted in to go for damage, and when you put his damage on top of the combinations coming in from sleeps, when the astral echo goes down, the increased zonage coming in from Bocarasco, it also adds a good answer to the cult altar, right? So they could burst that down. But speaking of being bursted down here, sleeps gonna find Boca.
In a second. He saw Boca. He's like, all right, you're gonna go back to that respawn timer. In an instant, he was taken down. And talking about going back, Tofu brought back to the team of Endables. He will survive for now, as Gino was not around to actually, deal that tank killing damage. But again, it's just as you mentioned, the engage coming in from Tottenham goes in for a flicker, and Sleep she should not survive, but uses the flicker to escape of that dire situation. Poor man, Nomenon blast, but no one to follow it up with. That's 2-for-0 trade in favor of Endables, and they should be able to take this inhibitor down, but unless there's a Bennett's race, and yes, there is. We're gonna see. Yes, the final slash kicking in, as well as the Tempest of Blades to dodge all that damage. And this should be enough for them to actually focus down on the Lord now. I don't think so. Bloodhounds have the tools to go in for that engage, going for the steal, as Tofu is still 3 more seconds into that respawn. And that's going to be an easy Lord for Endables.
Man, it's really looking good for them right now. They were having a harder time in that early game stages of the game, but right now they do have, like I mentioned before, a team fight composition, and they know what's at stake here. And we're seeing that being reflected in how they're playing. They're not really making the same mistakes as before. They're not overextending, and they're playing into their criteria to actually come out on top in these team fights, right? They know the importance of the Faramis, and I like that he's playing very behind with the Cold Altar, right? He just also, picked up some more damage as well. So I like that they're syncing these waves so they can have equal pressure for this push here with this Lord. And speaking of Lord coming in here, Scared, this is your turn.
Yes, definitely, and we're gonna see a Blade of Hephaestus who got picked up by the Link to just do this, what he was supposed to, and it should be the crystal. You take your eyes off of the game for a second, and that's the game ended right then and there. I wanted to point it out a second before he actually, finished off Sleep in a second there. You pick up a Blade of Hephaestus over your entire build. That's Berserker's Fury, Endless Battle, Windtalker, and the Malefic Roar, you'll be deleting everyone. And I personally thought that that was just to make sure that Boca Roscoe does not survive on that Novaria. But again, it works on Beatrix as well. Sleeps just shut down in this entire game. 4.5, that's definitely not what you want from your gold laner, while Gina popping off 6-0-0. So again, that is the matchup in the gold lane with Gina 1. And looking at the damage, Tofu 39% damage dealt on his side. While the entire damage has been split between everyone, 26 on the Link, 23 on carry, Sir Rose with 22 themselves, and Gustavo with 20% of the damage dealt, 30% tan. Everyone on the side of Endables played the win condition, and they actually got the win, forcing a game 5.
Man, and this is really scared. Are you there yet? Scared?
Yes,
Are you there yet? There he goes. Pleasure to have you back here. And I feel like if we look at what happened during that game, is really focus on Emily. I feel is their win condition right now. You kind of limited the tanks that she can, potentially pull out of that game. And then when she did go for the Lolita, you overwhelmed her with CC, right? You had the Faramis with the Shadow Stampede. You also had the Arlot with his displacement. And we also saw the pressure coming in from Minotaur with the Minoan Fury. So I feel like once you can kind of shut down some of that set potential, and again, credits to running the Assassin and the Jungler, it's very, I feel sentimental. I haven't really seen it. It's been attack meta for so long. I forgot we had damage dealers in this game. So it's good to be reminded. And speaking of things to be reminded, y'all, we're going up to that full series. Wheezy?
Man, 2-2 on the board. Who would have thought, right? It was a deficit. Bloodhounds looked like they were going to close it out, but then you were able to see the Endables come back online. This has been a game of ping pong back and forth between these two top echelon teams from North America. Guys, this is the Cyberpunk semifinals. That's right, there was 32 teams in North America. Mind you, top names in North America as well. Even BTK was in here. And to see these two teams make it this far to the top 4 and to see the caliber of gameplay that they're executing is definitely something to be proud about for our region. To see a couple of new faces, some are familiar too, but nonetheless, Bloodhounds, they need to find a way to get a victory. But same thing for Endables. This is 2-2. This is a best of 5 all the way to a game 5. This is what we love to see, and what better way to do it with you guys in the audience for the Cyberpunk Tournament for the Mlsa. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with you guys for the final game.
I've been mortified, fortified, feeling like a Mordecai. I ain't regular, feel like Jordan wearing 45. Traumatized, victimized, seen some of my die. Knock you off a base with a bat when them slide. Homicide, genocide, televised, emphasize, perpetuating war to that nigga, he gon' pick a side. Hood ties from hood lines, my nigga doing dope lines. Don't run into the cops, that's a big exercise. Don't run into the cops, that's the motto. I don't see it coming to an end like legato. Get chipped like staccato, send a wave through the hood, now it sounding like vibrato. Why you eat bread with avocado? We be trying to die shells before it landing our tomato. Singing all my sorrows on Apollo. I've been trying to pave the way, but they didn't tell me it was potholes. America ain't dreaming, it been scheming when the birth of a nation came from black. We all know it's black. Genius, everybody love the culture, they be black by convenience.
Hold on, my killer. You talking way too much conscience. Speak about some girls or some money or some diamonds or something. I'm not telling you to rap, not to rap how you rap, but make something we can vibe to.
Sounded like a real anthem. Shawty saw my wallet, now she think I answer. Whoa, telling me she wanted me to hammer. Trying to get saved, baby, I am not the answer. No, I can never trick. Unless the bitch is my bitch with a kiss on my lips like, I am not a pimp with a limp, I'm a man with a gift, and I'm doing my shit like, Tell them other nips, I'm the nip. I'm the man in the city, and my bank account bigger, and my body count bigger, that's without a doubt. I'm 100 steps ahead, that's a lot of mouth, that's a lot of clout. What you all about? What your dollar amount? You a boy scout, I'm a big dog. Tell the truth, I don't get y'all this shit. Time to corny, motherfucker, turn this shit off, bro. I can't rap how everybody else rap, bro. Everybody talking about cars, clothes, chains, and money. That shit corny as fuck, bro. God, I don't want to rap about that corny ass shit.
Like, ride with me if you ride with me, you can can slide with me if you feel like 550 on the 5 sticky, come get high with me, that's a deal, right? Ride with me if you ride with me, you can slide with me if you feel like 550 on the 5 sticky, come get high with me, that's a deal.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Cyberpunk semifinals, the tournament hosted by the Mobile Legends Scrim Academy for Season 3 as we have officially opened up our gates. We have partnered up with Raz, we have partnered up with Outplay to give 32 teams a chance to compete for a total cash prize of $1,000 going to the #1 team. And not to mention Moonton chipping in with an amazing diamond prize pool of 100,000 diamonds to the top 16 teams. Currently in the semifinals, 2 teams going head-to-head for Part 1. We're looking at Endables and Bloodhounds in a best of 5. It's currently 2-2. We are now on Game 5. This is make it or break it. Who will be able to claim this series and move forward to the grand finals? We have 2 amazing casters to paint that perfect picture. Let's go ahead and swing on over there.
Scared. You're scaring me, man. I'm afraid that. I'm afraid that one of these days you're just not gonna reappear. But here you are. How are you feeling going into the final game of this best of 5 series?
High on energy and excitement. Pressure is extremely high, not just on the teams, even on me, because I was want to see what's going to happen. Stakes are so very high. Winner goes to the finals, and the loser has to end their dreams right in this moment. So it's literally a do-or-die situation for both of them now.
Absolutely, and I'm excited to jump into this draft, right? We've seen it kind of go back and forth. One team wins, then the other team, come back, and then they take the game. So I feel like now it was one-sided in terms of, because the scoreboard was 2-1, but now it's 2-2. So now both sides are on death row right now, and I feel like they really are gonna kick it off as we hop into this draft and see, what's gonna kind of start to paint the picture for us here.
We took our time with that, and we are seeing already bans coming in. 3 of them, Franco, Xbox, and this time the Bane being respected by the Endables. I was not expecting that to happen, but I'm glad that it did. And for the Bloodhounds now, you see, we're seeing the adaptation coming in from both the teams. This time they've taken away the link along with the Lancelot, so respecting those damage assassins.
And it's smart, I was mentioning before, you take note of the things that you're kind of struggling with, and I like that. We've seen some consistency from the first time it appeared. For example, the Xbox being banned out, now the Bane being banned out, the Lancelot, and now the Ling, which we all saw last game, right? So very, understandable bans for them, removing some of that pressure, but there are still some things that can apply pressure throughout this draft here, Scared, a lot.
Varia up for grabs, Beatrix, Kufra, everything left on the table. So, of course, Endless can pick the Kufra up. We've seen them picking up the Kufra a couple of times in this series already. I might as well want to focus down on it a little bit more. But again, speaking about first picking, we also have seen them playing the Valentina, and both of these teams have been absolutely insane. And never mind that they're also hovering on Faramis, with they are going to lock in for Sir Rose finally.
I mean, it worked out for them really well in the previous game, set them up for that team fight oriented composition. Very smart. But also the Valentina is also still open, and I feel like you can also give her that cult altar as well, and we've seen it being played. But I do know for the side of Bloodhounds, they more favor some of these more pick-off type mages in that mid lane, whether it's something like the Kadita, which Boca is pretty prominent on. I would say it's one of his comfort mages, right? But they're gonna go ahead and take the Valentina, and I like it. You apply some draft pressure. She's really strong in that mid lane. She can steal some of your utility, which she has at her disposal, courtesy of Faramis. But in the EXP lane, gonna go ahead and take this Arlot. And I mean, it works. He does a good job there, Scared.
Dauntless back on his comfort pick that is basically picked for 3 matches, and now this is going to be the 4th one. Only the previous one was he not allowed to pick that hero. Now I want to see what answer is going to come in from Endless, because you've got the Valentina in front of you, you've also got the Arlot now, so there is a choice still opened up. they want to secure the carry first, though. Do not want to lean in towards the Beatrix, even though it worked for them in game number 2. This time, they're going to go in for something more comfortable onto the hands of Gina. And I really feel like it is a pretty solid pick because you're already denying a tanky lineup and a tanky jungle coming in from your opponent. And they're going to lock in the Kufra as well. I really love the draft from Endless. They're also pitching the meta into their comfort. So it's been working out for them for a couple of games now. Want to make it work for the third one.
I agree, right? And like I mentioned, now that the export is off of the table, the Kufra was bound out in the previous game. And the export was a big factor in comparison to why, you know, the Kufra didn't really get to have an easier time that game. But now that's off of the board. And I saw your reaction in regards to the Kaja pick, but I always feel like when you have a Kaja going up against a heavy engaged roamer, you kind of fall short. And I feel like we're going to potentially see that happening in this game. So I kind of fear for the matchup. Yes, it's good for pickoff scared, but, you know, yep, you see it right. That's a Helker being banned for the Bloodhounds.
Why?
You seem like you have some thoughts.
Maybe to deny the comfort to the hands of Endables, because you can kind of pair up the Helker's ultimate with the Kufra's Tyrant's Revenge so that, you know, you do not know where it's actually coming from. So maybe probably to stop that, banning with the Hayabusa as well. So all the damage assassins, almost every one of them are off the charts now. So I guess only Fredrin, Martis, Sakai, those tanky jungles are the ones who are remaining. Bane is also
that's a Hayabusa being down as well there. Sleeps. And it's interesting. They picked up the Alpha, you know, something that has been strong in the jungle, but not really as overhyped or overused as some of its counterparts. But I do still think it has the potential to have a good run up in that jungle position. But something that's been having some consistent... Oh, never mind. They're going to go ahead and swap off of that. So we're not even going to get into that. We're going to see them prio some of these EXP picks here. And if they do to go for the Yuzhang, I do think that's really great. Again, applying so much more pressure to the Kaja. I feel like, what are you going to do when you have things that can dive at you from multiple situations? All you have, sir, is a whip. You know, and I feel like Endables, again, setting them up with a lot of dive potential here.
When the body suffers.
Yes, but what are they going to put in that jungle? That is going to be the question.
Anadara, they locked it in. They finalized it. And I'm excited to see how that's going to perform. Yeah. This is definitely an interesting draft.
Yeah, it's more or less like they've thrown the meta entirely out of the window and they're like, you know, we are just going to stick with what we find comfort on and we're going to make it work no matter what. Benedetta into the jungle? Alpha in the jungle? Yes, it's understandable. We've seen that happening. We know that it kind of works. You can build up the Bloodlust stack, combine it with the Borak and go in for some defensive items so that you can face tank some of that damage. But Benedetta coming in the jungle, it's been so very long. We've seen it work in the EXP lane, but not in the jungle. I believe it did happen maybe in MTL Malaysia once this season, but we haven't seen it work very well. So I'm left bonkers at this round.
I mean, we're heading into the final game of the series, and I feel like anything is possible, right? We're gonna jump in to game 5 of the best of 5 series versus Endables and Bloodhounds. We're just gonna head onto this loading screen here, and I'm excited, right? And you mentioned the Benedetta in the jungle position. There's a first time for everything, and there's also a comeback potential, especially in Mobile Legends Bang Bang, right? We've seen both these teams being at a deficit, them being able to come back as well. And like I mentioned before, due to the recent changes to the emblems, it's opened up the door for these more assassin junglers to really shine again. And I feel like it has the ability to work to put some additional pressure onto that backline. And what I mentioned before, what I see from the side of Endables, where this Kaja is going to fall short, you're throwing so much aggression towards things that can really get into your team, it's going to overwhelm him. Because even if he stops one of them in their tracks, there's still going to be other people that can get that job done. And what is he going to do? The divine judgment is already gone. Is he going to slow them with the ring of judgment? No, that's not going to be enough. So I feel like, again, overwhelming Emily is going to potentially be beneficial for Endables.
Possible, highly possible, and very well analyzed in that situation. Rem and Totnak, though, is going to be chunked down pretty low, also easily secured by Tofu. Now, here's where things might get a little more complicated. We know that there's a presence of the Valentina in the hands of Bokarosco, and he's been playing excellent. And looking at Sir Rose, he's got the Cult Altar, which Voka can definitely steal away. So that might actually help him in a situation wherein Endables decide to go in for that full-fledged engage. They want to force that early Cult Altar out. It would be possible for them to actually force it out early on, but that would give the room to Bloodhounds to actually work and take out the priority targets. You take out probably Totnak. Yes, there's Gustavo still remaining who can jump in and give the setup. There's Tarzan who would be jumping in your backline. But I believe that they would really want Boka this time, rather than to play full-fledged damage-dealing role. This time they would want him to play a more utility-based role who would make sure that Sleep survives all of that dive. Probably.
Absolutely right. And speaking of utility here, we're seeing both junglers being forced to use their ultimates, but the Alpha, his ultimate cooldown, it comes back relatively fast in comparison, but we're already seeing some damage here.
Yes, Tarzan chunked down pretty low on the Benedetta. Now, Benedetta in the jungle did used to work early on. We're going to talk about that later. Divine Judgment comes in, and who other than Sir Rose is going to be picked off right away. Now, this is the priority that Bloodhounds need to work on. They need to take Sir Rose down before they could use the Cult Altar. That would give room to Bloodhounds to actually work with more and go in for more of those engages. It's basically going to come down to which Cult Altar is providing the best value to their own team. And again, coming back to the point wherein, yes, you mentioned Alpha with that ultimate, its cooldown is extremely low. That's basically what, 7-10 seconds? And you're going to build a couple of CDR items, it's going to come down even further. But for now, the HP is coming down very dangerously low on Templar. He'll be taken down. He's not going to survive that. Yep, with the Dragon Tail, he's going to put the final nail in the coffin. Gustavo winning that EXP matchup.
And it's good that they can kind of even out the board a little bit. Yes, they did lose out for that turtle fight, but still putting some pressure in the EXP lane.
A lot of pressure in the EXP lane. As for now, they're going to also focus down on the bot side. Tofu, low in the HP, tries to steal away the creep, but does manage to do so and will gain a ton of it back. But talking about gaining ton of something, we are seeing the entire gold on that top side being chunked out. So Endables are winning in that gold matchup. Though they're still behind by 100 gold. I don't know what for. Well, that's a pretty good farming from Bloodhounds, I believe.
Absolutely right. Being able to keep themselves in this game so far, and I think it's courtesy to the setups, and they were also able to secure that first neutral objective in the game, which kind of also helped balance things out here. And I feel like they put a lot of focus in the bot lane, but focus here in the top side.
Yep, Gustavo forced to use the Black Dragon form will be A-okay, and someone's gonna go in for an engage on a dragon, on a Godzilla, literally. He's literally a Godzilla at this point. So, it's gonna be A-okay in that top side, but again, the focus is gonna come down back onto that turtle pit. Who secures that? Tarzan, not having a very good time in the jungle, is running with the killing spree. Secure the Hunter Strike as the first item, but does not have any kind of priority, any kind of opening, as bottom side is going to be the next focus point for both of these teams. Totnak wants to go in for an engage. Nope, decides to play it safe.
And I feel like what Endables need right now, they know that they're really protecting Sleeps on this bot side. If you look at the enemy presence down there, the numbers are way more. But in the top side, it's just going to be a 1v2 situation. And I feel like that's why they're really trying to put some pressure up in this top side. And again, look at them. I'm going to close the gap.
That was such a beautiful bait coming in from Gustavo. He's still standing, but look at Tempest. Not falling at all. What a play! Uses the flicker, wants to take Gustavo out, but that might be a mistake as the Sense is gonna give him the HP back. Dragon managed a massive final slash. What a play! What an outplay! And he survives the damage from Benedetta. Wants to still force the fight. Eye for an eye to dodge the damage. My goodness gracious!
I mean, his name is Temptless, but at this point, change it to Tempted, because do not even attempt to try to outsmart me right now. And speaking of things to be outsmarted here in the mid lane.
Yes, that's gonna be Sleep being caught in the Tyrant's Rage Revenge combination. Though everyone's gonna be A-okay as of now, while Gina is gonna take priority in that bottom side and wants to chunk the turret down. Is doing that way too quickly, already has popped the ultimate and will go back and retreat back to safety, as Totnak was there providing the vision. So good lane priority coming in from Endables. They found Sleep slacking for a second. They quickly capitalized onto that, and this is something that Bloodhounds need to avoid. But for now, what they need is to get those pickoffs, to get the snowball kicking in, which they're not being able to. And in terms of late game scaling, I really feel that both the teams are extremely solid onto that. So we might possibly see another 25 minutes game, maybe.
Absolutely right, and I want to put some focus onto Gina. What I've noticed about Gina, he does such a good job at opening up the map a little bit. If we look at his items right now, he does have the corrosion sight. He does have some physical defense as well at his disposal. But speaking of defense,
it does seem to be pretty solid in the hands of Totnak. We're gonna see the final slash coming in. Oh my goodness, that's Gustavo being brought in back into that tower, and again they will be chunking them down one after the other. Cult Altar being used up by Sir Rose, so he will not be able to survive after that, being brought in that tower. That's what a play, like literally what a play. Only a couple of them fell in that fight, and not able to take any kind of objectives around the map though. So that's pretty good wave management coming in from Endables, and a good flicker from Gina dodging the Alpha's ultimate.
absolutely right, but that is some utility that is going to be down, so they're definitely going to target Gina here. But speaking of things to be targeted, down the bot side, we're going to see Sleeps open up the map for the side of Bloodhounds even more, and they're currently leading not only in terms of gold but in terms of objectives on the map as well. We're heading into that 10-minute mark right now, and I want to see where Sleeps is kind of at. If we look at some of these comparisons, right, he hasn't taken a fall just yet, and look at that, he's at 6k gold right now, even has more gold than the jungler. He does secure that Blade of Despair as well, so I think he's in a really good position for this snowball potential. But Gina also having two of her core items to be built in as well, but it can still play looking for something here for this other Bloodhounds. No, just going to use it to reposition on the map. And speaking of looking at the map here in the top side, again, Gina looking to open up the map for this other Endables.
Okay, Tyrant's Revenge was being charged up, so I thought they might want to go in for an engage, but not yet. Now, Divine Judgment. You're gonna die for an eye that, but that is a very good Tyrant's Revenge coming in. Rage did not connect them onto the wall, but we're gonna see two dragons in the entire map. One's gonna be Gustavo, second one Boca Roscoe. You're not dragon, I'm also a dragon. We're both dragons. And that gives the priority to Bloodhounds now towards the turtle. 1,000 has already fallen.
Absolutely right, but it's looking like Totnak here is looking for a contest, but smart choice to actually dive into the bush to your side of the jungle. Your jungler was down. That would have been a bad decision here. But speaking of bad decisions, we're seeing Tofu constantly apply the pressure, and you can afford to do this when you can play some of these more assassin type, fighter type junglers, right? We saw him on the export before, and something that the expert and the alpha has in common is a true damage. But speaking of true damage here,
we're gonna see a damage right onto the heart of Sleeves as he still survives! What? That's gonna be Emily taken out of the picture. No more Divine Judgment available, but how did Sleep survive that? It's impossible to do so in that situation, yet He manages to do it and is going back to defend the bottom side that is being pushed by Tarzan. So doing a pretty good job at that. He did the same thing with the Link, doing the exact same thing with the Benedetta. Now the only difference is with Link you have a lot of room, lot of mobility to jump towards that backline. Now Tarzan is not being able to find that opening with the Benedetta. So it's not as easy to pull it off because you need to be close to your opponent and then you need to go in for the electro final blow, as well as the eye for an eye at the perfect time to dodge almost everything. And then there's always Emily with the Divide Judgment waiting for you. So you have to kind of wait for Totnak to give that engage. But once he does, you will see everyone just jumping around here and there. And once that happens, it becomes difficult as a Benedetta to land in your skills, as there's no low effect coming in from anyone in this game. So I really feel that the idea of putting the Benedetta into this kind of comp could have worked pretty well, but for now, Tofu seems to be in trouble, and that's gonna be the cult order popped in by Bokarosco. Even though Tofu's gonna fall at the end of the day, Gustavo taking that trade. Now we're gonna see cult order from Sir Rose himself. Gina with the Wind of Nature now takes out Kaja. Oh, that's a pretty big win coming in from them. But for now, talking about big wing, Sleep makes sure to shut down Tarzan yet again, but does not have the Nibiu's passion to clear the way, so we'll have to concede the tier 1.
Now it's a really good sniper shot coming in there onto Gustavo. They definitely could have pushed in, but forcing them on the back end here. And I want to look at the composition, right? One thing that Bloodhounds does have going for them, where this Arlot is shining, Sir Rose, right? Having this cult altar, we do know with the changes made to the ultimate, you really have to stay within his range. The moment you leave, the effect is removed from you. And the final slash is a disposition, and not only does it do damage, but it also removes that effect from you, from that cult altar. And we've been seeing that happen when they go in for some of these team fights, especially on Totnak there. Every time he jumps in, we're seeing him being caught out, we're seeing him being countered, courtesy of this Arlot pick. And if we look at some of these items that has been picked up here, we're seeing Carrie, she did secure that Wind of Nature, and I think that's going to help her as well. Beatrix also securing that item, but I like that Bloodhounds is roaming together right now, but both teams setting up to get the most in terms of pressure and vision for this Lord here.
The Death Bush could be crazy, could be game changing. Both the teams setting up for that, but look at how Bloodhounds are just so aggressive. Totnak, does he have an idea? I don't think so. Almost. Could have been a good pickoff, but nonetheless, talking about pickoff, we're gonna see Tofu finish in style. You cannot survive the light wheel, and Sleeps has been forced to flicker out of that situation. It gives so much priority to Endables to take down the Lord. Emily is not gonna survive that either. Gonna be taken down. They're falling one after the other. Now Sleep. Whoa! Cult altar. Two of them down, and that should be the engage coming in from the side of Endables. They want to take someone else, and Sleep is gonna fall. He shuts down Gina in the meantime, though. You can immune the physical damage, but you cannot immune the Shadow Stampede. So Sir Rose taking matters into his own hands.
Man, that was a good trade-off there. Getting there, you took our marksman, but also having, Gina falling in that situation reduces the clear here. But speaking of clear,
yes, Tofu wants to clear everyone out of this map. Oh my goodness, it's gonna be pulled back. Sir Rose, this was the first time that he wanted that no one should be pulled, but that was the moment when everyone got pulled. So he was finished off, but either ways he's a Faramis, he'll be surviving quickly, he will be basically respawning back so very quickly. But here's the thing, it hurts to see those souls leaving your body as soon as you respawn back again. Lord marching down the bottom side. Totnak, holy smokes, gets in yet another engage, but no follow-up whatsoever. Everyone was pretty far away. Gina nowhere around. Lord already down to half HP. Bennett's rage used up. They should be able to clear it without it letting hit the tower once.
Now, that was a good attempt there from Boca Roscoe, trying to use that revenge to stun them to the wall. And that's one of the perks of Valentina, right? You don't necessarily have to use your flicker. You have the dashes at your disposal, but a concealed play has been popped here.
They actually want to go in for the chase, but again, Endables have got a pretty good re-engage tool as well on their hands. They do not have the vision on the Yuzhong. Probably Gustavo is going to be the key because he is the one who is dividing the fight. He's the one who is forcing sleeps off position. Boca Roscoe at this point is going to be the key for the Bloodhounds because with that cult altar that you have on your hands, which he does not at this point, you would be allowing your team to maneuver a little more in that entire boiling of damaged pit wherein everyone will be taking that AoE from Shadow Stampede, from the Light Wheel of Carry, the Electro Final Blow. It's just is so very dependent on that micro play because the macro, both of the teams, they basically got the same idea, right? Endables want to go in for that full-fledged engage. Emily on that Kaja wants to go in for that pick-off, and this time talking about pick-off, it's gonna be Totnak is just taken down. Kaltota being forced in from Sir Rose way too early. This time Emily still wants to help Beatrix out somehow, sleeps to surviving. Shizen's coming in, but the regen from Beatrix itself is insane.
And that was a really good save and response coming in for the side of Bloodhounds. And I like that they're really engaging with this Kaja. We're seeing, I mentioned before, having so much dive being thrown at him is going to make it difficult for him to be the one to kind of find the backlines. But no, let their front lines come to us, burst down their front lines, and then, we're going to have an easier time to do this job here. But someone not having an easy time here is Scary Tarzan.
And the Lord being secured by sleeves, and now they're going to take them down one after the other as Sir Rose falls. Well, we respawn back in 5 more seconds, but yes, Tarzan not at all having an easy time in that jungle on the Benedetta. Now, we've been talking about it. Yes, pretty decent on books, should work, but you do not have enough freedom, just like a Ling or a Lancelot or maybe a Hayabusa. Go in and out at your will. You have to work with those dashes, and if in case you kind of mismanage one of those eye for an eye, you would be in a pretty awkward position. Plus, giving Kaja onto the hands of Emily, providing a comfort tank, finally is giving them enough room to take all of them out. Gustavo seems to be for now in trouble, as he's actually going to get some HP back with that Shy Essence. Wants to keep on engaging in that fight against Tofu. Sleeves joins in, forces him back. Lord has been taken care of, and no inhibitor falling apart from that top. As of now.
The minions on the bot side, they're the minions at this point in the game, and we're seeing Bloodhounds heavily focusing here, but a final slash goes out.
Yep, Totnak though not brought in a very dangerous position, and the discipline kicking in from Bloodhounds, just retreating back to the safety. Now here's the thing, right? 51,000 gold into the hands of Endables, 54 in the hands of Bloodhound. In terms of gold, they're almost even, but for now, an amazing eye for an eye coming in from Tarzan, stunning Tempest in his tracks, but again, the follow-up was not quick enough, otherwise they should have been able to take him down. Well, that is the kind of outplay in those micro plays which they need to get back in this game.
Absolutely, right? And I like that Endables is still, their head is still in the game, right? They do know, again, they have to carry, as long as they can keep her online. We did see Alpha here trying to go in, but he did miss that ulti, thankfully, for Gustavo there. I feel like once you have this carry on your side, as long as she's not being picked off, which she has, and she's been doing a really good job in terms of positioning, but conceal play.
Oh, speaking of positioning, an amazing play. Sir Rose caught off guard, and this time on the Faramis, you're not gonna spawn in early. It is 30 more seconds before you can come back in. It did not have the souls. So again, that is a good pick-off. Now, again, Bloodhounds just playing on their strength, and Gustavo this time knocked up. But speaking of knockup, Totnak gets one. Electro Final Blow coming in to push all of them back. And that's going to be the disengage coming in from the side of Endables as well as Bloodhounds, because Bloodhounds are going to focus on the Lord, who's going to pop in the next 10 seconds.
Now, I feel like Boca was like, y'all, why didn't y'all let me get his ulti before y'all killed him so we could have actually made something more happen here? But Totnak.
Speaking of something more to happen, Totnak wanted to make a play of his life, and that's going to result out of being forced on Gustavo in the backline. Electrifying blow, connecting on 3 people. They all want to go in for the engage. Sleeves extremely low. Immortality is still there, and it's being popping up for the sides of Endables as they're falling one after the other. And again, all of them being taken down solo in HP. Boca Roscoe still stands, takes down Sir Rose, forces the three of them back, and this is the chance for Bloodhounds to actually go in for the Lord, maybe? Because I don't think so they should be able to end it. Wave clear is there for Endables.
Absolutely right, but they're going in. Oh!
This might have got them the game. Double kill. Make it 3 of them falling. Boka Roscoe uses the electro final blow, stealing it away from Tarzan to try and survive in this one. But holy smokes!
That was a really good attempt at coming in from the side of Endables, and I really don't think they're in the position to really take this Lord. We're seeing the rotations, and it's looking like they're not on the same page right now. We're seeing Totnak there, but he should be trying to tank this Lord as Gina is kind of getting it handed to her. They're on this carry pick, right? But they're going to be able to burst that down quite easily. One thing I want to see from the side of Endables right now, please play this game patient. Focus on syncing your wave management so you can really apply as much pressure to the side of Bloodhounds. Right now you do have Sir Rose with the cult. Also, you have the dive potential, and I feel like all they need is to be a little bit more patient and more team oriented like we saw in the previous game. That's all that's been missing from them right now. They have the items, they have the economy at this point. Looking at Carrie, she's basically the most fed in the game right now, right? She's on par with the Beatrix who just caught up to her, but they have to play it smart, play it safe, be disciplined.
Thank God Gina actually sold the Hearts Club, because it does not work with carry. Windtalker, much better choice. Even though there were Rose Gold Meteor possibly, but again, Windtalker is going to give you a lot more attack speed. Lot has been taken care of, but the mid inhibitor will definitely fall. So that's one problem taken off. Engi is going to come in. Electro Final Blow along with the Black Dragon Form to zone them all off. And the backline Petrify connecting. It's going to be called being used up along the final class coming in from Templars. They will be able to take Tarzan out of the picture and want to go in for the chase. Every ultimate on board has been used up apart from Alphas now, and Boka Roscoe getting his I am you back in. Now, again, they were able to somehow survive that. They still have the priority on that bottom side. Even though the minions are pushing it on as their inhibitor, they want to go in for the chase. They actually want to go in, and the call is to end it fully as Gustavo falls. And that should be the final lane in the coffin probably, as it's just Sir Rose and Gina remaining. No front line. But the only thing working for them is that the waves are pushing in towards the base of Bloodhounds. But for how long? Gina!
Oh!
That's a nasty play, and that's an excellent play coming in.
Absolutely, but in the mid lane?
Promise, Rose, how long can you survive? Still buying as much time as possible. Gina quickly getting the immortality, swapping it up for a Wind of Nature, using it, but how long are you able to survive? Not long enough is the answer, as it's just Tarzan remaining. 14 more seconds for Gustavo to spawn. Electro Final Blow comes in. Divine Judgment is there. Sleep is gonna put him to sleep. As an eye for an eye, it does not come in time. But the cannon is extremely low. It should be taken down. Oh my goodness, so close this game is as the cannon falls. They try everything to tank the damage, but the waves coming in as they want to continue the fight. Gustavo falls in an instant, has the immortality though, but will not survive the true damage. Blast coming in from Alphas, gonna take him down, and everyone is still going in bonkers. It's a brawl, and as for now, Totnak, all he can do is use a Tyrant's Rage on minions, but was not able to do it in time, as he will be final slashed out of the tower, and the crystal will be taken by Team Bloodhounds. What a bloody battle.
Absolutely right. And the battle has been, not only the battle, but the war has been won on the side of Bloodhounds here. And if we look at some of the items that was picked up, Sleeps, they're having the Hearts Claws for that additional sustainability, as well as the damage and penetration coming in from the Blade of Despair, Malefic Raw combination. And then on top of that, having the additional defense with the immortality that really made his survival be detrimental there in that ending of this game here. And if we look at some some of the statistics that we saw throughout this game, right? Having a bulk of the team's damage there coming in at 28%, tying with both Carrasco on the Valentina. And when you look at his tower damage, like I mentioned, something that we've been seeing consistently with these Beatrix players, especially their tower focus is off of the chains. They're really good at opening up the map to get your team a little bit more freedom in terms of their rotations, right? We saw, because of them having some towers at their side from the jump of the game, Emily with the concealed plays and the team being able to find additional positioning to really execute some of these team fights. And if we look at the team fight participation, is high across the board. They applied pressure consistently throughout the game. They didn't allow Gina to really carry that late game, and they made it harder for them to achieve this win. But speaking of achieving wins here, Bloodhounds gonna take Game 5 and the series.
And they are the first finalist of the Cyberpunk Tournament 2023.
There you are.
My camera is just playing tricks on everyone now. You know, it's every time wherein the attention is focused on that one person, the lights are focused on that, and then he pops up. That's the kind of camera that I have at this point, even though I don't want that to happen again and again. But nonetheless, that is a style in which Bloodhounds are entering the grand finals of 3-2 victories. So everyone who gets a 3-2 in favor of Bloodhounds are the ones who have got the observation hack at this point.
Thomas on a sweater already, mom spaghetti, but on the surface he looks calm and ready. Oh my goodness, that was insane. Yo, I'm just sitting there like trying to drag the camera. I'm like, okay, the game's about to end. No, wait a minute. There's no cannon minions. Oh wait, did they overextend? Dude, it was so back and forth between both of these amazing teams, Endables and Bloodhounds. Honestly, one of the best series that I've ever seen in the Mobile Legends Scrim Academy. One of the best series that I've ever seen inside of North America. So kudos to both sides. Honestly, that was a very hard-fought battle. Nobody in the stream could say either side was bad. They're honestly top tier, top talent. I can't wait to see both of them in the fall season. But for the Cyberpunk Tournament, there's only one seat at the top, and currently 2 seats for the grand finals, and one of them has been secured over there by Bloodhounds, ending this best of 5 all the way to a game 5, 3-2. Guys, everybody out there, I appreciate y'all tuning in. Hopefully you enjoyed today's show. We're almost to 1,000 subscribers, so if you're in there and you haven't subscribed, I'm gonna find you. All right, we're gonna have a long talk. But anyway, shout out to everybody who subscribed. We appreciate you, everybody that likes the stream as well. This is community driven, right? This is a bunch of people who have a passion for Mobile Legends Bang Bang in North America getting together and making things happen. This goes all the way from me as the host to the Mlsa staff to the casters to the players who you see competing, and also to the sponsors who provide this amazing cash prize, Moonton with the diamond pool. It's a collective effort, and I'm just glad to be a part of it, and I'm glad that you guys can join us on this venture. Now, where do we go from here, right? That was semifinals part 1. Part 2 is going to be Sunday. We had to change the schedule, so it's not going to be Saturday, so everybody enjoy your Saturday with your loved ones and get ready on Sundays. It's going to have an extended show. We're going to be starting at 4:30 p.m. Eastern Time for the second part of the semifinals, which is going to be Ignis Esports going up against Team Ace. Ignis Esports has been having a phenomenal run. Team Ace is a team that took down BTK. So there's still some heavy hitters on the board that Bloodhounds does have to watch out for. But the question is, which one of those two will move forward to the grand finals? Now, the grand finals is going to go concurrent. So meaning it's going to play right after the semifinals. It's all going to be in one massive stream, 4:30 to around 10 p.m. Eastern Time. So grab some popcorn, get some drinks, and I can't wait to share that with you guys. But as always, we appreciate y'all from the Mlsa staff. Shout out to everybody in the stream, and also shout out to all the amazing casters who made the desk up today. We had Deku, we had Rim, and we also had Scared Jet. Guys, thank you so much for what you do. Wouldn't have been as crazy of a show without y'all. So that is going to end today's live stream. Stay tuned Sunday to get back in action to see Team Ace go up against Ignis Esports, and then see the grand finals for who's going to be going up against Bloodhounds in a best of 7. As always, my name is Wheezy. I've been your host, and it's been a pleasure. Take care of yourself. Take care of each other. We'll see you guys on the next one. Peace and love, baby. See ya.
I've been mortified, 45, feeling like a Mordecai. I ain't regular, feel like Jordan wearing 45. Traumatized, victimized, seen some of die. Knock you off a base with a bat when them slide. Homicide, genocide, televised, emphasize, perpetuating war. Tell that nigga he gon' pick a side. Hood ties from hood lines, now niggas doing dope lines. I'm running to the cops, that's a exercise. homicides. Don't run into the cops, that's the motto. I don't see it coming to an end like legato. Get chipped like staccato, send a wave through the hood, now it's sounding like vibrato. Why you eat bread with avocado? We be trying to dodge shells before it landing our tomato. Singing all my sorrows on Apollo, I've been trying to pave the way, but they didn't tell me it was potholes. America ain't dreaming, it been scheming when the birth of a nation came from black. We all know it's black. Genius, everybody love the culture, they be black by convenience.
Hold on, my killer. You talking way too much conscious. Speak about some girls or some money or some diamonds or something. I'm not telling you to rap, not to rap how you rap, but make something we can vibe to.
Sounding like a real anthem. Shawty saw my wallet, now she think I answer. Whoa, telling me she wanted me to hammer. Trying to get saved, baby, I am not the answer. No, I can never trick. Unless the bitch is my bitch with a kiss on my lip like, I am not a pimp with a limp. I'm a man with a gift, and I'm doing my shit like, Tell them other nips, I'm the nip. I'm the man in the city, and my bank account bigger, and my body count bigger. That's without a doubt. I'm 100 steps ahead, that's a lot of mouth. That's a lot of clout. What you all about? What your dollar amount? You a boy scout, yeah, I'm a big dog. Tell the truth, I don't get y'all this shit. Sound corny, turn this shit off, bro. I can't rap how everybody else rap, bro. Everybody talking about hoe, cars, clothes, chains, and money. That shit corny as fuck, bro. Oh God, I don't want to rap about that corny ass shit.
Like, ride with me if you ride with me, you can slide with me if you feel like 550 on the 5 sticky, come get high with me, that's a deal, right? Ride with me if you ride with me, you can slide with me if you feel like 550 on the 5 sticky, come get high with me, that's a deal, right? That's a deal, right? That's a bet, right? That's a bet, right? That's a deal, right? That's a deal, right? That's a bet, right? That's a deal, right? That's a deal, right? That's a bet, right? That's a deal, right? That's a deal, right? Ayy, coming down like precipitation. I ain't never met a limitation. Hate plotting my elimination. Gotta go to Google for the information. I'm a superstar, so I gotta shine. Top dollar be the bottom line. Bottom feeding niggas out of line. Turn your heart rate to a dotted line. Yeah, my zodiac probably dollar sign. Got the energy to win it, my nigga, I'm feeling great. Got a date with destiny, focusing on my fate. I don't give a fuck what you rapping, you been a fake. I'm everything that they ain't, it can't be, it won't be. Wanna see me fall, I can't go, I won't leave. Coming from the block with plain clothes and police. Straight up to the top with bankrolls and rollies. Ride with me if you ride with me, you can slide with me if you feel like 550 on the 5 sticky, come get high with me, that's a deal, right? Ride with me if you ride with me, you can slide with me if you feel like 550 on the 5 sticky, come get high with me, that's a deal, right? That's a deal, right? That's a bet, right? That's a bet, right? That's a deal, right? That's a deal, right? That's a bet, right? That's a deal, right? That's a deal, right? That's a bet, right? That's a deal, right? That's a deal, right? Ayy, 12 can't really stop shit, so I'm still pushing like a mosh pit. Ice dripping, think I'm hot shit. In a yellow bucket with the mop stick. I've been jugging jams like wholesale. Everything must go sell. Hitting bitches with the oh well. Need 100 milli on the low scale. On my worst night, I'm the best nigga. Wouldn't mess with you, couldn't cap to him. Homie spotted me like 700, brought 1100 right back to him. If I can't do it, then it ain't real. I just make dollars, I don't make deals. I've been going hard in the paint, still blowing kush clouds till I can't feel like. Ride with me if you ride with me, you can slide with me if you feel like 550 on the 5 sticky, come get high with me, that's a deal, right? Ride with me if you ride with me, you can slide with me if you feel like 550 on the 5 sticky, come get high with me, that's a deal, right? That's a deal, right? That's a bet, right? That's a bet, right? That's a deal, right? That's a deal, right? That's a bet, right? That's a deal, right? That's a deal, right? That's a bet, right? That's a deal, right? That's a deal, right? Got 5 on it.
I can do this with my eyes closed. It's too easy. Too easy. I can do this with my eyes closed. It's too easy. Too easy. It's too easy. I've been there, done it, seen it. Boy, all that like Keenan. Still got crack, they fiendin'. Flow still hot like Phoenix. Shine so bright, I'm gleaming. This off top, I'm tweaking. fresh out the rat like Neiman. And I'm still trying to fight my demons. Cause we all gotta act like Tina. That's why I gotta ride with the Nina. Outside, it's a war going on. Maybe put my hands on my head like the Macarena. They want you walking on board like Kima. And give a F to you like John Cena. Putting blood on the brand new Beamer. Trying to earn 8 stripes like Adidas. You get cold when you ride with the heater. It'll turn you to a dog like a Keto. And expose to a cat like a cheetah. They smoke my partner like reefer. Dímelo porque o no entiendo. Mi gente must really need Jesus. They shed real blood. I never seen the crypt and I believe it. It's too easy. Too easy. I can do this with my eyes closed. It's too easy. It's too easy. I can do this with my eyes closed. It's too easy. It's too easy. I can do this with my eyes closed. It's too easy. It's too easy. It's too easy. I've been there, done it, seen it. Y'all just talk, don't live it. And just took that route, that seen it. Now I'm so outspoken like Reason. Jimmy Neutron, boy, Young G's. And I'm a self-made man out of Sweden. And it's still off top, I'm tweaking. But I still gotta fight my demons. I ain't no good, I'm evil. I ain't been clean since Eden. It's a war going on outside. Make you put your hands on your head like the Macarena. That's why I gotta watch my demeanor. You know they locking up blacks and Latinos. It's the same old game, ain't nothing really changed but the mileage on the meter of the Beamer. You get cold when you ride with the heater. It'll turn you to a dog like a Keto. And expose to a cat.